following is a presentation of Baldwin Sports Live, your home for live coverage of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at haydenoutdoors.com. Also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium in Kansas City. A big matchup tonight with potential playoff clinching ramifications as the Baldwin Bulldogs get set to battle the Bishop Ward Cyclones. I'm Bryce Kessler alongside Ryan Hilmer. We're looking forward to this game tonight. Should be a good one. The Bulldogs have won 3 straight. They are now 3-3 overall, but more importantly, 2-0 in District 3. A win tonight over the 4-2 Bishop Ward Cyclones would clinch a playoff berth for the Dogs. Bishop Ward, meanwhile, they sit at 1-1 in District 3. They, too, control their own destiny. While a win tonight won't clinch a playoff spot outright for the Cyclones, it would put them in position to win and get in next week when they host winless Osawatomie. So a lot at stake here tonight in KCK for two programs that are both back on the rise. Bishop Ward looking to secure their first 5-win season since 2009, while Baldwin has a chance to reel off 4 straight W's for the first time since 2014. So much more to talk about with this matchup, and we will do that as we continue on with the Baldwin State Bank pregame show right after this. You're watching Baldwin High School football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank, Baldwin State Bank. Whether it's personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, or savings for retirement, go see Baldwin State Bank. For over 120 years, they've helped serve our community. Enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at the Baldwin State Bank. The Baldwin Bulldogs on the road tonight to take on the Bishop Ward Cyclones as we take a look back and look what's happened so far this season. We'll start with the Bishop Ward Cyclones, who are now 4-2 this year, 1-1 in the district. As you see there, a loss to Wellsville, and then last week a win over Santa Fe Trail. 27 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to win that game. But the Cyclones, a game that was tied at 28 going into the fourth quarter. But that victory puts the Cyclones at 4-2. It's their best start since 2009 when they started off 5-1 on their way to a 6-3 finish. But talk about a quarter of momentum they have bringing into this game, Ryan. 27 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to pick up a very much needed win last week against Santa Fe Trails. The Cyclones, we obviously didn't see that game. Not sure how that all happened, but it looked like it was a dogfight throughout, back and forth the entire game, and then Bishop Ward blew the doors off of Santa Fe Trail in the fourth quarter, so they've got that momentum heading into this game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was a game that we were monitoring pretty closely when we were calling our game, and it was tied going into that fourth quarter, 28-28, but yeah, they reel off 27 straight points. Not sure what quite happened in that fourth quarter, what transpired, but obviously if you just look at the pure numbers, they're a good fourth quarter team, and so you got to be ready for that, and Baldwin's got to come out tonight ready to play. It's a big game tonight.
Yeah, we hope we don't see a repeat of that tonight, and we don't have to figure out how that happened in this ball game for Bishop Ward. But again, they come in at 4-2. Baldwin, meanwhile, you see the results so far on the screen. 0-3 start, a 3-0 stretch since. They are now 3-3. They're back to 500. They have a chance to reel off a fourth straight victory tonight after another really good performance last week, Ryan, in a 42-14 win over Osawatomie for the second straight week. The Bulldog defense held their opponent to a season low in both points and yardage. The offense continued to fire on all cylinders with 5 straight touchdown drives to start that game. 3 straight big wins now for Baldwin, but the biggest test yet is here tonight at Bishop Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Bulldogs are really starting to put everything together offensively, defensively. Special teams has been all right. They'd like to improve a little bit there, but altogether, when you looked at the schedule before the season, you kind of said just based on prior performances and on paper, you look at those first 3 games, they're going to be pretty tough games. They lost those 3, but then the schedule is kind of set up how you thought it would. These next 3 games, they really dominated their opponents, and this was a game tonight that was kind of circled before the season and say, if you can win this game, you got a great opportunity to make the playoffs as that number 2 seed in the district. And so this is going to be a huge game, huge matchup tonight.
Yeah, not only do you have an opportunity, but you have a playoff berth if you win this game. It's win and you're in. If you're Baldwin tonight, for Bishop Ward, as you take a look at those District 3 standings up on your screen right now, for Bishop Ward, it's not as simple as win and you're in tonight, but if they do win this game, then all they'd have to do next week is just take care of business against Osawatomie, who is winless on the year. And even without a win next week, there's still some scenarios that could play out that could find the Cyclones in the postseason. So both these teams, what it boils down to, control their own destiny. Baldwin's the only one that can definitively punch their ticket to the postseason with tonight's result. But both teams in the driver's seat for their season at this point in time with 2 weeks to go in the regular season. That's what you want at the start of the year. You want to be able to control your own destiny. You don't want to have to be relying on other teams to get you where you want to get. Both teams still have that opportunity as Baldwin looks to try to keep pace with Wellsville atop the district, and Bishop Ward trying to stay right there with them. Wellsville tonight, if you're wondering, they host Santa Fe Trail. Wellsville, a heavy favorite in that game. They, too, with a win, would be all but in. And, in fact, the district could wrap up tonight if Wellsville and Baldwin both win their games this evening, and they face each other next week. That would be a seeding game for all intents and purposes, but it would not have an impact on getting in or not. And a big game, though, for Santa Fe Trail. They technically still have hopes alive with a lot. It would take, again, talking about needing help. They would need some help, but they have to help themselves with an upset of Wellsville tonight. Never say never. We'll keep an eye on that game as we go on throughout tonight. But this district kind of shaping up how we thought it might. Wellsville has been at the top from the start of the year at 6-0. We kind of thought coming in, Baldwin, Bishop Ward, Santa Fe Trail, those were the 3 that were going to be battling for that second. Not to take away from Osawatomie, but they appeared at the outset to be the team furthest from contending, and that's played out. Santa Fe Trail right now on the outside looking in, and it all boils down really to this big game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than anything, it's how you're playing at the right time of the year. And Baldwin, these last 3 weeks, like we talked about, they've been putting everything together. And so this is when you want to be playing your best football, and they have these last 3 weeks. So the confidence should be riding high for the Bulldogs. Hopefully they come out tonight and have a quick start, a good start, and play a clean game tonight.
Looking forward to it. It should be a really good game as the Bulldogs get a test on the road against the Bishop Ward Cyclones. You're watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. We'll take a look at the matchup, a little scouting report on the Cyclones coming up next here as we get you set for kickoff. Baldwin and the Bishop Ward coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
We are live at Dorney Field, Stump Warner Stadium in KCK tonight. Home of the Bishop Ward Cyclones as they play host to the Baldwin Bulldogs. Let's take a look at our matchup preview here as you are inside the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. The Cyclones having a fine season at 4-2. Their offense is probably the most balanced offense the Bulldogs will see since maybe that season opener against Eudora. Perhaps Lewisburg could fall into that category as well. But this is a team, unlike the last several weeks when we have seen opponents, Ryan, that have been very run-heavy, this is a team that will go with a balanced attack. That being said, they do like to feature their running back, B.J. Johnson. He will be heavily involved in both the run and the pass game. 92 carries, 26 receptions this year, averaging just under 20 touches per game. So while they are a little more balanced, they do like to feature B.J. Johnson, and we expect him to get a pretty good workload again here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. A very balanced team, like you mentioned. They're not just going to be that line up in the wishbone and run 3 yards in a cloud of dust at a time. They're going to give it to B.J. Johnson a lot. He's number 22. He's a senior, 5'9", 180. He's going to get the majority of the carries. He's also a prominent out of the backfield receiving. He's had 26 receptions on the year for a touchdown, and so he's going to get a lot of the attention from the Baldwin defense. You have to find where he is. And also a guy I'm keeping an eye on, number 11, Christian Brown, the tight end. He's a big guy, 6'4", 230-pound senior. And so being cognizant of him, not only in the running game but in the passing game, keeping an eye on where he's at.
Yeah, they've got multiple weapons. That's one of the things that jumps out to me as well. 5 players with at least 8 receptions this year. So, a lot of times – at the high school level, you see you have a target or two that you like to go to, and Baldwin can kind of fall into that category, where Jack Harvey loves throwing to Grossner and loves throwing to Darnell. After that, it's a steep drop-off. That's not the case here with Bishop Ward. So, again, when it kind of speaks to that balance, not only are they a balanced run-pass type of team, but they're balanced in terms of the guys that they like to throw the ball to when they do drop back and throw. Christian Brown is one you mentioned, Jalen Pickens, Dustin Rector, Denaro Jones. They're all going to get looks. They all have 8 or more catches this year. And, of course, as you said, B.J. Johnson with 26 receptions as well out of the backfield. So you really are going to have to be disciplined tonight if you're Baldwin defensively. You can't get caught peeking into the backfield, seeing where that ball is going to go. You got to be attached to your man or to your zone, depending on the coverage you're playing, because they will spread it out. Aiden Millerman, he's only a sophomore quarterback, but he's not afraid to share the wealth out to his receiving core.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only a sophomore, like you said, but he's taking care of the ball. Only 1 interception so far this year, so that's a big key for them, is not turn it over. Same for Baldwin. You got to come out, have a clean game, not any penalties. But, yeah, and then look at the other side defensively. are going to be really fast. They're going to be athletic. They're not a lot of big guys in terms of like size on the offensive line. Nobody on the defense is technically a lineman. They're all running backs and receivers.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's wild.
So, yeah, they're going to be really fast and athletic on the defense, so you got to be ready for that if you're Baldwin.
Yeah, this is going to be a test, no doubt about it. And, you know, Baldwin's offense has had things just seem to come so easy the past several weeks. I mean, they haven't punted now since week 3. They haven't punted the last 3 games. 31 straight drives on the offensive side without a punt for Baldwin. But in this game here tonight, they are going to be challenged. It's going to be a stiff test, and, you know, it may not come so easy. So Baldwin's going to have to make sure they don't get frustrated with that, because this is a Bishop Ward team that is playing with confidence, just like the Baldwin Bulldogs are playing with confidence. And what more could you hope for in the second to last week of the regular season? Playoff implications. It's all set up for a great night here in KCK this evening.
I mean, that's what football is all about, though. You want 2 evenly matched teams. We think it's going to be a close game tonight. We've seen a lot of blowouts this year, one way or the other. So seeing a close game tonight is what I'm expecting, and I think it should be a really fun one.
The Baldwin State Bank pregame show continues right after this with a look at our Cody-Ano State Farm Insurance game plan. You're getting set for Baldwin and Bishop Ward coming up on Baldwin Sports Live.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show as we get set for Baldwin and Bishop Ward coming up shortly here on Baldwin Sports Live. It's time to take a look at today's game plan. It's brought to you by our local State Farm Insurance agent, Cody-Ano. Good time to stop by and review your policy. If we're back to school, maybe you have kids who have gone off to college. Maybe you're just looking to update things before the year is over and some life changes. No matter the case, go chat with Cody-Ano, and he'd love to get you the best policies for you. Stop by and see him, and he'll help a neighbor out. Call 785-594-0270 or visit CodyIsMyAgent.com as we take a look at tonight's game plan. It's something I alluded to last segment, Ryan, but tonight punts are okay. Now, we don't want 15 of them, but every once in a while, punt is an okay thing here in this game tonight.
Yeah, it's not going to kill you. It's more along the lines of just, being careful with everything. If you got a 3rd and long, you don't need to force something downfield. You don't need to get it all in one chunk. If you punt the ball, you play field position tonight. Like we mentioned, it's going to be a closer game we're expecting. So if you play the field position and get a good game going that way, that should be a key number 1. Number 2 is keep everything in front of you defensively. We talked about it. They're going to be pretty balanced run and pass, so you can't, come up biting on the play fakes if you're a safety. If you're a corner, the secondaries really got to stick their eyes where they need to be and don't be cheating. And the front 7 or 8 for me has to come up big in the running game against the run tonight, because you can't be having Jack Harvey and these safeties making too many tackles defensively. You want to keep everything in front of you. And then number 3 is just capitalize on opportunities. That's something Baldwin's been pretty good at this year, is getting some turnovers, putting themselves in a good situation and not turning over too much themselves. So if they can do those 3 things tonight, I think they're going to have a pretty good shot.
There's your State Farm Insurance game plan. We'll step aside for the national anthem, and when we come back, it's kickoff time here at Bishop Ward High School. You're watching the Baldwin Bulldogs on Baldwin Sports Live and the Baldwin State Bank pregame show.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back to Dorney Field here at Stump Warner Stadium in Kansas City tonight. Home of the Bishop Ward Cyclones as they play host this evening to the Baldwin Bulldogs. It's time for your starting lineups brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center at 718 High Street in Baldwin City. As you take a look at their upcoming lineup in a moment here, let's take a look at those Bishop Ward and Baldwin starters. The offensive side there for the Cyclones, B.J. Johnson. He's their workhorse, their running back, but they will spread that ball around. Aiden Millerman, a sophomore quarterback, has done an excellent job spreading the wealth this season, and as Ryan mentioned, just one turnover this season. For the Baldwin defense, you see that 3-4 scheme there. Drew Flick again on the inside backer. No Brendan O'Connor for the second straight week tonight. But this is a defense that has been awfully good here as of late for the Baldwin Bulldogs, and we'll look for another big game out of that unit tonight. On the other side of the football now, as we flip it over to the Bishop Ward defense and the Baldwin offense, a very fast, athletic defense for Bishop Ward. Baldwin's offense will be tested. That offensive line of Van Horn, Martin, Wren, Williams, and Davidson left to right. They have been very good as of late as well, and they will need to be great again tonight to help protect Harvey and open up some lanes for running back Cody Buck. Those are your starters, and again, they are brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. As there is that upcoming lineup for the Lumberyard Arts Center. Don't miss out on the great stuff happening at the Maple Leaf Festival today, tomorrow, this weekend, all downtown there in Baldwin, including Lucy's Corner and the specials there at Lumberyard Arts Center. Go online to learn more at lumberyardartscenter.org. Create, play, and innovate at your creative home in Baldwin City, the Lumberyard Arts Center. So the coin toss is complete, and that means it is time for kickoff. The opening kickoff tonight is presented by Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Tickets on sale now for the second annual Downtown Beverage Festival. Making plans now to join BCRC in downtown Baldwin on Saturday, October 22nd from 3 to 7 o'clock to sample some of the region's finest beverage offerings with a backdrop of live music, food trucks, and so much more. Early bird tickets are on sale right now as we speak for $30 at baldwinrec.org, or go downtown to the office, 705 High Street. Don't wait. Those tickets are capped, so if you miss out, you can't go. So you don't want that to be the case. That event coming up Saturday, October 22nd. We are ready for football now here from Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, and this is a good one. So glad you're with us here. I'm Bryce Kessler, joined by Ryan Hilmer, and we are set for football as Juan Delgado will kick things off for the Bishop Ward Cyclones. The Bulldogs are going to get the first crack at it here with their offense that has been so good over the last 3 weeks en route to 3 straight Bulldog victories. Now looking for a fourth, and the kick, a little squib kick up the hash, and Hamrick will collect it and go down immediately with it at the 24-yard line. So Here comes the Baldwin offense for their first possession of the game. And Ryan, they've been so good as of late. They have not punted in their last 31 offensive drives. 21 of those 31 drives have resulted in touchdowns. They've turned it over on downs 4 times, turned it over 3 times, and then had 3 drives just end because of the end of the half, at the end of the game. But this offense has been very good as of late.
Yeah, that's kind of part of what we mentioned with punts are okay. You would like to not punt it at all tonight, but if you have to, this is going to be a better defense than the last 3 they've seen.
Harvey out of the shotgun to start, and there's movement on the near side. Jumping into the neutral zone is Cam Yarbrough, a junior defensive end. He is second on the team in tackles this year for Bishop Ward, but he commits a penalty prior to the first snap of the game. So that will turn it into a first down and 5 here on this opening drive for the Baldwin Bulldogs. 2-0 in the district. Bishop Ward 1-1 in District 3. Big game. Bulldogs can clinch a playoff berth with a victory tonight. Cody Buck gets the first touch of the game for Baldwin, and he moves the chains as the pile moves him out near the 40-yard line. It's an 11-yard run for Cody Buck. Cam Yarbrough making the tackle along with some other help from these very broadcast-friendly jerseys of the Bishop Ward Cyclones. We were talking about it, the contrast in jerseys tonight with the white numbers and the black jerseys for Bishop Ward, the dark numbers and the white jerseys for Baldwin. It's a play-by-play man's dream to have the contrast in numbers as we have here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Expecting a perfect game from you tonight now, Bryce.
This is Harvey on the keep. Fakes it to Buck and picks up 5. They'll take that on first down for sure. It's Yarbrough again on the tackle along with Javion Braden. But a 5-yard run makes it second down and 5 for the Bulldogs here in this opening drive. They've already taken it out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing in these first 2 plays. I like to see Bulldogs come out and establish that they can run the football, not put too much weight on the shoulders of Jack Harvey.
They have really been running the ball well in their last several games. 384 yards against Santa Fe Trail, 368 against Anderson County. Last week, 182 in a night where they actually had a season high in passing yardage. This is Harvey again, and they'll move the chains again. Christian Brown stands him up as he crosses midfield. They'll mark his forward progress at the 49-yard line of Bishop Ward. That's a 6-yard run for Jack Harvey. And the Bulldogs have a pair of first downs already on this opening drive. As the offense continues to click, they have really gotten off to great starts the last 3 weeks. And tonight, so far anyway, just 3 plays in, no different. 22 yards already gained on these 3 plays, plus the 5 yards they netted on the penalty. Harvey looking to throw for the first time under pressure as he fires this one down the center of the field, and it is intercepted by Jalen Pickens. Grossner trying to wrestle him down to the field, and he does at the 15-yard line. But on a night where possession and opportunity is going to be critical, the Bulldogs turn it over on their opening possession after a promising start. Pressure in the face of Harvey led to the overthrow and the interception by Pickens.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jack's just trying to make a play there. He had some pressure come up right into his face, so he had to get rid of it. But, yeah, he just tried to throw that one up and let his receiver make a play. It was a nice play by Pickens to pick that off.
So the opening drive is spoiled, and now Bishop Ward will get their first crack at it with 9:57 left to play in this first quarter, and they will start on their own 15-yard line. Aiden Millerin out of the pistol will hand off to B.J. Johnson, and nothing doing on his first touch. He gets about 20 touches per game, whether that be on handoffs or getting the ball out of the backfield in the passing game, but Brett Davidson makes that tackle right at the line of scrimmage. It's a no gain for Johnson's first carry, and it brings up second down and 10 for Bishop Ward.
Like the defense to respond here, get a stop. You still are kind of winning that field position battle if you can get a 3 and out here.
Coming off of a season best in terms of points and yards allowed last week against Osawatomie. Ball in the air and incomplete. Broken up by Tristan Capel at the last minute, or check that, Cody Buck got over there to break it up as it was intended for that big target, Christian Brown, 6'4", 230 pounds, 9 grabs for 90 yards this year. And their first attempt to him falls incomplete to bring up a third down and 10 here on the opening drive for Bishop Ward at their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, beautifully timed play there from Cody Buck defensively. Came over the top and swatted it away right in time. He had his man open, though, did Millerin.
Millerin only a sophomore, but he's completing just under 60% of his passes this year for 766 yards, 5 touchdowns, just the 1 interception. And now he'll work with 4 wide receivers on a 3rd down and 10. Pressure from Baldwin. The pass is flipped out to the 30-yard line where it is hauled in for a 1st down on a 3rd down and 10. They move the chains as they get to Denaro Jones on that completion, his 9th grab of the year. He's been a big play guy for them, 130 yards on his previous 8 catches. And that went out to the 34-yard line as they pick up 19 on a 3rd down and 10.
Another nicely thrown ball on a little corner route there. You can see Milleren's a confident young man, just a sophomore.
So they move the chains for the first time, and now with a 1st and 10 out at the 34-yard line. Johnson stands behind Milleren, who has 3 receivers right. He wants to throw that direction. It's through the hands, and they're calling that a loose ball and a fumble out of bounds back at the 24-yard line. So a backwards pass from Milleren will end up losing 10 yards on the play. So a break for Baldwin, but also you could say a break for Bishop Ward that ball ended up going out of bounds and not scooped up by the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Yeah, if you're Baldwin, you'd like a couple guys to run after that, even though I was clearly going to go out of bounds. But yeah, it was one of those that's kind of 50-50. Is it a forward pass? Is it backwards? Ended up being backwards. Lucky, like you said, it went out of bounds.
So now 2nd down and 20 after the big loss on the lateral fumble out of bounds. This is another backwards pass, it looks like, and that ball goes out of bounds back at the 15-yard line. So 2 in a row, they've thrown backwards. The first lost 10 yards. This one loses 9 yards, and it's 3rd and 39 coming up, or 3rd and 29 coming up.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that in football, or you tried 2 screen passes in a row, both backward passes, and now you find yourself in a 3rd and just under a mile.
So this drive started at the 15-yard line. They gained 19 on a 3rd down and 10 pass to Denaro Jones. They have since given back all 19 on back-to-back lateral passes that have gone out of bounds as fumbles, and so it's now 3rd and 29 from the 15-yard line. Milleren will work again from the pistol and hands off to B.J. Johnson, who is able to break a couple of tackles, and he has a 1st down and more across midfield. Grosner trying to contain him on the far sideline, and Grosner makes the tackle at the 15. So on a 3rd and 29, they pick up 70 yards on a big run by B.J. Johnson.
That's one of those where you come through, you break a tackle or 2, and then you get up to that secondary, and then it's just a foot race. That was a nice job that time by Bishop Ward. A big gain on what looked like it was going to be a for sure punt from them that possession.
Yeah, they were almost conceding it really by saying we're going to run the ball here, just play it conservative, but Baldwin unable to really even get a hand on Johnson until he was already near the 1st down, and then able to step through a couple of tackles, and now sets up Bishop Ward with 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Option left side. Braden gets the pitch. He is a big running back. He's drugged down by Martin just outside of the 5-yard line. But Javion Braden, 6'3", 230 pounds. You better be sure to square him up when you're trying to tackle him, as he is a load to bring down. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 1 at the 6. 2 3rd and longs converted on this drive by Bishop Ward. They converted 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 29. Braden again. Hit in the backfield by Dylan Williams, and there comes the rest of that Bulldog defense. They make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, perhaps a loss of about a half a yard. We'll call it no gain, and it will bring up now a 3rd down and about a yard and a half from the 6-yard line. They do have a really good kicker in Juan Delgado Medina, senior kicker who has 9 career field goals to his name. But Bishop Ward with a 3rd down and 1, trying to keep their kicker on the sideline. Johnson back at the backfield. They fake it to him. Milleren trying to set up a center screen that time, and it's batted down by Jake Van Horn. So a 4th down coming up. And again, they do have a very fine kicker in Juan Delgado, but with a 4th and 1, it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field and go for it here on this opening drive.
Yeah, Van Horn is just so smart defensively on that line. I think he read that screen pass, and he kind of just held his ground instead of running after the quarterback. That's what they want you to do, is get you to rush upfield, but held his ground and made a nice play, incomplete pass.
They've converted 2 long 3rd downs. This one only a yard, and it's a 4th down, but a big play here on the Cyclones' opening drive as we near the midway point of the opening quarter. Millerin going to throw on a 4th and 1. Fires into the corner of the end zone and overthrows B.J. Johnson. The incomplete pass on a 4th down, and they turn it over on downs at the 6-yard line. And Ryan, I'm a little surprised they went to the air there on 4th and 1 when you got a big back like Braden, who was on the sideline albeit, but a break for Baldwin.
Yeah, you just broke a 70-yard run with B.J. Johnson. I don't think you want to give it back to him. Your horse running back, but yeah, nice play by Baldwin defensively, though. Stick with all the receivers, force a turnover on downs.
So after the Baldwin defense cracked and gave up 2 long 3rd downs, especially on that 3rd and 29, they get away with it, albeit they do lose out on some field position, but thankful the score is still 0-0 after a possession each. Baldwin for the 6-yard line to start their second series. Cody Buck on the handoff. A flag comes in as Buck is wrestled down by Roderick Strong around the 13-yard line. The flag came from the referee back behind the offensive line and likely going to bring this one back, and it will. It's a hold against the Bulldogs.
It's going to back them up even closer, half the distance to the goal. They're already starting on their own 7-yard line, so got to be careful here, especially a team that likes to run primarily out of the shotgun. Got to make sure you're getting that quarterback-center exchange down.
So that is going to move the football back to the 3-yard line, as Ryan said, on a half the distance to the goal penalty. And it is now 1st down and 13 from their own 3. Baldwin was intercepted on their opening drive after gaining a couple of 1st downs and taking it just across midfield. Bishop Ward turning it over on downs at the 6-yard line on their opening drive. Harvey from the shotgun at the midway point of the 1st quarter. No score in this one, and they'll keep it on the ground. Harvey going to try to do it himself. Jack with a little stutter step around the 5, out across the 10, and a solid gain there to get them out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Yarborough makes the tackle at the 13. It's a 10-yard run by Jack Harvey to bring up a 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, it's a really big play there. 2nd short, get yourself back ahead of the chains. This is 2nd short. I love taking a shot here, but coming off of a drive where Harvey just threw an interception, I don't know if they're going to do that here.
Grossner, his favorite target, is in the slot left. Darnell, a close second behind him, is slot right. A fake to Buck, and Harvey once again trying to do it with his own legs out to the 16. This is going to depend on the spot. It's going to be either just short or he just got it, and it looks like they're marking him just short.
Yeah, they're holding up the 3. It's going to be 3rd down and short. This is big boy football right here.
3rd down and less than a yard.
Just need a yard.
Under 5 to go in the 1st quarter, no score. If Baldwin wins, they're in. Talking about playoffs, if Bishop Ward wins tonight, they all would only have to win next week against 0-6 Osawatomie to punch their ticket in and could technically even get in on some other scenarios. But a big game here tonight, and it's Cody Buck on 3rd down with a 1st down with ease. Out to the 25-yard line. He is stopped by Rector, but no doubt about it there as Buck easily moves the chains on a 3rd down and 1 out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's no real reason to put the ball back in the air. You're running the football well. You're getting about 4 or 5 yards every carry. So see if they try to maintain that balanced attack and let Jack throw it around a little bit. I like when they roll Jack out a little bit, though. I think he's a little more comfortable out on the run outside of the pocket.
They've only attempted the 1 pass so far, and, of course, that resulted in the interception. There was a lot of pressure, came right up the middle, and any quarterback will tell you that's the toughest pressure to throw against when you have it coming right at your chest. So let's see where they go on 1st and 10. It's Vance Morgan in the backfield, and he barely had taken the handoff from Harvey before Corey Stewart Jr. met him in the backfield. A tackle for loss for Stewart, and that will put the Bulldogs back at the 23-yard line. 2-yard loss on that carry by Morgan.
That's some of that speed and athleticism we talked about on that defensive line. They're not necessarily huge, but they are quick and fast, and they can split those gaps, get to the backfield.
Every one of these guys you see out there on this starting defense for Bishop Ward is either a running back or a wide receiver for their listed position on the offensive side. Harvey this time is rolling and fires it over to Grossner, who extends the football for the 1st down. Roderick Strong was able to trip him up and keep that from being a huge play. But a great job, good hands, soft hands there by Grossner to haul it in, and then reaches out the football to make sure he has the 1st down at the 36-yard line on a 13-yard completion.
And just a little thing that a lot of people overlook on a play like that is Jack's rolling out to his left. He did a nice job turning his shoulders and really firing a strike to Grossner right on him.
Moves the chains, and again, this possession started back at the 6-yard line, so they've already successfully gotten it back there where they can change field position, worst case scenario. And how about Vance Morgan again? Was tackled before he could even take a step after the handoff last time. This time has a little room, takes it to the 44, give him 8. And it's a second down and short coming up. Denaro Jones, the tackle for Bishop Ward.
Now this is right around that area that I would love to see a play action shot right here, second and short on your own about 44-yard line here. See where they go.
Just under 3 to go in the first quarter. Both teams have had a possession. This is Baldwin's second possession of the game. And they face second down and 2. Handoff to Buck up the middle. Cody trying to churn those legs, has 3 yards, which is enough to move the chains yet again.
But I guess when you're just running the ball 3-4 yards a carry, you don't need to pass the ball, like I said, so whatever's working, right, Bryce?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And in the running game, we came into the season, Ryan, thinking, this is a team that's going to have to be able to throw the ball for 200, 250 yards a game, and that has not been the case. This is a team that has really been able to rely on their rushing attack. They're averaging 237 yards rushing per game, an entire returning starting offensive lineman, and that's been a big key, those 5 guys up front.
I was going to say, you got to attribute a lot of that to those 5 big boys up front. They're opening up some big holes that me and you could run through.
So after the 3-yard run by Buck gives them a first down, it's now 1st and 10 at the 47, but it's going to turn into 1st and 15 at the 42, it looks like. So that's the second penalty now on this drive for Baldwin, and that's been an area that they have been very good this year. The Bulldogs have not hurt themselves with penalties. They're averaging just 4.5 penalties per game for only about 44 yards per game. Offensively, they're only averaging 2 penalties per game on the offensive side, but they've had 2 here on this drive now. Overcame the hold, and now we'll have to overcome a false start. Good news is it's on a first down, so you still have 3 downs to get the 15 yards. From the 42, fake to Morgan. Harvey got hit in the backfield. It looked like his own guy kind of ran into him as Javion Braden was pushing Davidson into the backfield and kind of blew that play up. No gain on the play, and it will bring up a 2nd and 15 now. 1:15 left to play in this first quarter. We've been used to seeing high-flying offense in the last several weeks. We thought this game would be a little bit more back and forth, give and take from both teams, and that has been the case so far through 11 minutes. Baldwin facing 2nd and 15, or 2nd and 13 rather, on the 44 is what they call it. This is Harvey, and Jack gets loose. First down. Harvey bounces off an attempted shoulder tackle down to the 30-yard line.
I mean, I would like to know how many yards after contact Jack Harvey has this year. We don't have that number, but I bet it's a lot because he just refuses to go down on first contact. He seems 5-10 more yards every single time.
Picks up 26 on a 2nd and 13, and the Bulldogs have taken it down to the 30 of Bishop Ward. And they'll have time for one more play here in this first quarter. They've only had to put the ball in the air twice so far. The running game has been superb to this point, and it's Buck who hesitates, bounces outside, now cuts it back inside down near the 21-yard line. Another great run there to set up a 2nd and short when we return. After 1, no score. Baldwin and Bishop Ward here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Bulldog football on Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage for farm, recreation, and real estate, and their local Baldwin brokers, Shad and Penny Sheldon, are ready to help you find your next dream property or help you sell your property. Check them out at HaydenOutdoors.com or send them an email to Shad@HaydenOutdoors.com or Penny@HaydenOutdoors.com. That's Shad and Penny Sheldon with Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. It is 2nd down and 2 for the Baldwin Bulldogs as we start the second quarter. Baldwin has it to the 22-yard line of Bishop Ward, and they continue to pound the rock on the ground. Cody Buck down to the 14 with a flag coming in for the back judge. 8-yard run by Buck for a first down, but we will check the penalty flag. Perhaps a face mask here. That's what it is. Personal foul face mask, and that will take it down to the 7-yard line. That will take it half the distance to the goal. And the Baldwin Bulldogs have a goal-to-go situation here on their second drive of the game. This will be the 12th play of the drive coming up. 10 of the previous 11 have been rushing plays.
Yeah, just stick with it, I think. They haven't been able to really stop you except for that Vance Morgan play when they stopped him in the backfield. Other than that, getting positive yardage every single play.
This drive started on their own 6-yard line, and then a penalty actually pushed them all the way back to the 3. So really they started from the 3-yard line here on this drive that is now at the 7 of Bishop Ward. Buck gets strung out towards the sideline, ends up gaining maybe 2 to the 5.
Lost the football.
The ball did come out, but the official on the far side is saying he was down. So a 2-yard run by Buck before Johnson made the tackle. And it'll bring up a 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Bishop Ward in almost this exact same spot on the field did not capitalize on their opportunity on their first drive. They had it down here at the 6-yard line, but could not get it in the end zone and ended up turning it over on downs after going for it on a 4th and 1. Baldwin now at 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line, a minute into the second quarter. Still no score, but the Bulldogs trying to change that here. Harvey out of the shotgun, 13th play of the drive. Fakes to Buck, throws over the middle for Darnell, and it's incomplete. It hit Darnell in the hands. He was kind of twisted up, though, and it got on him fast, could not haul it in. It'll bring up 3rd and goal at the 5.
Yeah, Darnell, he had a couple guys all over his back there. It was going to be a great catch if he came down with it. Harvey kind of put it right on him, but it's that little tight end pop pass they like to do. Play action to the running back, get those linebackers stepping up just a step or two. You throw it right behind him, but did a good job staying with Darnell that time.
From the 5, 3rd and goal for Baldwin. Hand off to Buck, makes a man miss in the backfield. Has to make several more miss if he's going to get there, though. He is stopped at the 4. That was a great effort by Buck to even give that a chance. Cam Yarborough making the tackle. It's a 1-yard run to the 4-yard line. And Baldwin, they have developed a nice little kicking game here as of late. But they, like Bishop Ward, will keep the offense out there and go for it on a 4th and goal to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, tit for tat here. Both teams inside the 5 choosing to go for it on 4th down. See where they go.
Harvey takes the snap, wants to throw quick to the left side, and it's batted down in the end zone by Dustin Rector. He was looking for Tristan Capel, and both teams have now turned it over on downs at the 6 and 4, respectively, within the game's first 3 possessions.
Man, that's just one of those. I questioned Bishop Ward on the other end and been running the ball up and down the field. You go to a pass there on 4th and goal. Would never question Coach Litcher, but you'd like to get out in front there, see if the defense can't pick up the offense here, get a big stop, get the ball back.
I think for both teams, it just illustrates the difference, too. When you get down there closer to that end zone and the field shrinks, you don't have to, the secondary doesn't have to be worried about letting guys over the top of them, and that run support is a lot bigger down there by that goal line. So both teams get turned away near the goal line, and now B.J. Johnson takes the handle on a 1st and 10 from the 4 for Bishop Ward. He picks up 2. Van Horn and Wren making the tackle for Baldwin. 2-yard run makes it 2nd down and 8. Bishop Ward had to overcome a couple of 3rd and longs on their first drive. A 70-yard run by B.J. Johnson got them down there in striking distance before they were turned over on downs. Here's Johnson again, and he is twisted down to the 14-yard line. Guy Morgan making the tackle, but it's an 8-yard run by Johnson, and it looks like they're going to make it, I guess I'll call it a 7-yard run and mark him just short.
Yeah, it looks like Guy Morgan, number 5 for Baldwin's one of those inside linebackers today alongside Wesley Martin.
So big third down deep in their own territory. If Baldwin can make a stop here, you really put some pressure on a decision from Greg Duggins. But that is moot now because B.J. Johnson explodes through the center of the line for another first down. Well, they've got the big back in Javion Braden. Johnson is not in the category of a big back, but he's sure fast.
Yeah, it's kind of like that thunder and lightning attack that most teams like to look at when they get a 2 running back system. With Baldwin, it's more like lightning and lightning with Vance Morgan and Cody Buck.
Johnson coming off of a 135-yard rushing, 4-touchdown effort last week against Santa Fe Trail. He added 66 yards and a touchdown in the receiving game as well. 5-touchdown game last week. Davidson has Strong stood up in the backfield. A tackle for loss back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards lost on the play as Brett Davidson once again finds himself in the backfield making a play on this Bulldog defensive line.
He's been huge all year along with Jake Van Horn, the 2 kind of defensive ends on that D-line. Dylan Williams, the nose guard. Been terrific all year, especially these last 3-4 weeks.
Under 8 to go in the first half. A game that's cruising by so far. Both teams keeping it on the ground. Both teams unable to get in the end zone yet. 2nd down and 12. Ball on the 21-yard line for Bishop Ward. Their second possession of the game. Play clock down to 3. Now down to 1. And they didn't get it off in time. It's a delay of game on the Bishop Ward offense. So after the 2-yard loss on first down, now the penalty essentially turned that into a 7-yard loss on first down. So you have 2nd and 17 coming up with 7.5 minutes to play in the half and no score. Puts it back at the 17-yard line. 2nd and 17. They were 12 guys in the huddle there for Bishop Ward. No penalty flag. They go screen to B.J. Johnson. He's into the open field. And here he's got a convoy down the near sideline. A foot race down the sideline, and it's going to be tough catching Johnson. B.J. Johnson takes it the distance. 84 yards for the touchdown. Well, did they not have 12 guys in the huddle there, Ryan? The guy came running off, so did they either that or they ended up playing that snap with just 10?
Yeah. I would have to go back and get a count, but it sure seemed like they ran somebody off late.
Javion Braden came running off of the field after they had broken the huddle and were lined up. Now, had he been an 11th guy who thought he was not supposed to be out there and ran off and they played with 10, then certainly not illegal about that, but had they had 12 out there in the huddle and set the formation, that should have been a penalty on Bishop Ward. We'll have to go back and check it. The extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Bishop Ward with 6:57 left to play in the first half here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Dorney Field here at Stump Warner Stadium. 7-0 Bishop Ward with 6:57 left to play in the first half as the Cyclones strike on a big play. 84-yard touchdown pass from Aiden Millerin to his running back, B.J. Johnson, who is a big threat both the passing and the rushing game. He already has 89 yards rushing and now 84 yards receiving as they take it 96 yards on 5 plays on a drive that started at their own 4-yard line. Squib kick up the middle of the field, kicked around by the Bulldogs. They fall on it just outside of the 25-yard line. So answer time now if you're Baldwin with 6:50, and I'm not sure why it's still running. The clock continues to run here. It shouldn't be, but that's all right. Clock's running, but 6:40-ish left here in the first half. And the Bulldogs will set up shop at the 26-yard line. But they need an answer now for that big gut punch there from the Bishop Ward offense.
A gut punch, yeah, but it's not time to panic by any means. You've been running the football 3-4 yards a carry, so not time to panic. I know this Baldwin team hasn't recently in these last 3 weeks faced many deficits, if at all. So this is going back to those first 3 weeks. Got to climb out of this hole.
For what it's worth, they did have 12 guys on the field when they broke the huddle. Bishop Ward went back and looked at the replay, but it's neither here nor there now as Jack Harvey takes the handoff and keeps it, I should say, as a quarterback, and picks up a couple out to the 27-yard line or so.
See Bishop Ward defensively, they only got really one safety back. They're stacking the box, kind of a 4-4 look, 2 corners and a safety deep. It's one of those that just entices you to take some shots like Harvey tried to do when he threw that first pick on that first opening drive, but see if they stick to the ground. It's been pretty good to them so far.
2nd down and 8 after that 2-yard run by Harvey. Harvey will look to throw. Slant over the middle, through the hands of Reichert and incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. They had it, but Reichert unable to squeeze that one. The sophomore wide receiver, just 2 catches this year for the Bulldogs. And it will bring up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Jack put it right on him. Reichert, a guy like you kind of mentioned there, hasn't been involved that much this year, but they're going to need him to step up along with probably Tristan Capel, as a couple guys are going to probably have to make some plays at some point. We've mentioned he likes to throw to Grosvenor. He likes to go to Darnell, and defenses, they know that too.
Big 3rd down and 8 as the Bulldogs would hate to have to go 3 and out after that big touchdown from Bishop Ward, and they won't. Darnell out to the 40, 12 yards on a 3rd down completion. And the senior Sam Darnell extends the drive. Well, from the 40 now with 5:42 left to play in this first half. Again, I mentioned it's a half that's been cruising because of the ground game from both these teams. The Bulldogs now find themselves down a touchdown. Bishop Ward won the toss to start this game and deferred their decision to the second half. So big moment here for the Bulldogs to try to answer in this final 5 minutes. From the 40, 1st down and 10. And jumping into the neutral zone for the 2nd time is Cam Yarbrough. So 1st down and 5, ball moved to the 45-yard line.
It's one of those things you kind of keep in the back of your mind, lock away for maybe a late game, fourth quarter, late drive, get them on a hard count.
From the 45, it's Harvey on the keep. 1st down and more. Harvey still on his feet. A little loose with the football maybe at the end. Holds on to it, though, as he takes it down to the 32-yard line. 23-yard run by Harvey, but made me a little nervous there at the end, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely needs to tuck that ball away. He was carrying it like a loaf of bread there at the end, but nonetheless, a good run. Nice little burst up the middle. It's something he's shown all year is that burst, just to jump through that offensive line or defensive line. And then when he comes at you as a safety or something, that's not something you want to see, is Jack Harvey bearing down at you.
Takes it to the 32 of Bishop Ward. It's a new set of downs for the Bulldogs, who have now crossed into opponent's territory on all 3 of their possessions so far tonight, but have yet to score as Cody Butt gets wrapped up by Corey Stewart Jr. and brought down after a short 3-yard gain on 1st down to bring up 2nd and 7.
It's kind of been the first half we've expected, though. Back and forth, pretty evenly matched. A lot of ball control, field position type of game. Unlike the last 3 weeks where we've just seen, a touchdown or a big play every 2 or 3 plays. This is kind of the pounded out, control the clock football.
Well, that's why we talked about, who can capitalize on their opportunities, because unlike the last several weeks, you may not have 6, 7 opportunities to score touchdowns. We've seen both teams now have an opportunity spoiled down inside the 10-yard line. Baldwin gives it to Darnell on a jet sweep. And a flag comes in as Darnell is tackled at the 25-yard line. It's a 4-yard run, but we'll see what happens with the call on the penalty here. And a block at the back against Baldwin. So that's going to turn it into a 2nd and long. They'll mark it off back to, looks like the 39-40. They're going to put it at the 40-yard line. So a 2nd down and 18 coming up here for Baldwin. Reality is, though, you still probably have 3 downs to get this. Don't have to necessarily try to get all 18 back in one chunk here.
Yeah, don't have to force anything here. 4-down territory for sure.
3 receivers left for Harvey, who has Buck flanking him to that side as well. And Buck got off to a quick start. Looks like perhaps one of the linemen on the right side may have moved as well, so that will cost Baldwin 5 more yards. And with 3:13 left in the half, the Bulldogs moving backwards here as they're back to the Bishop Ward 45-yard line now. They need to get to the 22 for a 1st down. Three minutes to play in the half. Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show coming up. Harvey to throw, pressured, has to throw off his back foot. It's underthrown and intercepted by B.J. Johnson at the 30-yard line. Tripped up at the 36, but it's the 2nd time tonight in 3 drives that Bishop Ward has picked off Jack Harvey in the Bulldog offense.
I think that was Cody Buck. He was trying to get the ball to the inside receiver up top of your screen. He just kind of kept running. He never looked back. Jack was expecting him kind of run a quick little hot route there because he was going to get pressure early and had to get rid of it. He had pressure right in his face, but just some miscommunication there. Unfortunate for Jack and unfortunate for the Baldwin Bulldogs here. Defense has to come up with a big stop.
Baldwin overcame the last turnover, forced a turnover on downs, coming back the other way, albeit at the 6-yard line, inside their own 10, but it was still a stop nonetheless. And now on the sudden change, Bishop Ward goes firing deep for a big play of their own. Jalen Pickens was the target. Cody Buck in coverage. And it falls harmlessly to the ground to bring up a 2nd and 10 with 2:45 to play in the half. Baldwin Sports Live is brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing. If you're looking for a great job with a growing family-owned company, then check out Rice Precision Manufacturing. See them at riceprecision.com and send an email to jobs@riceprecision.com to learn more about the great family at Rice Precision Manufacturing. This is B.J. Johnson on the carry across the 40. Jake Van Horn the tackle. They'll put it at the 41 after a 5-yard run. Brings up a 3rd and 5.
It's a huge 3rd down here. This is still territory where they're probably going to have to punt the football just shy of their 50-yard line. So if you can get this stop, get the ball back, let's look at all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time to go down and get a touchdown before half.
Yeah, holds double meaning as you talk about a chance for you to maybe score, and you really need to keep Bishop Ward from scoring here at the end of this half with the Cyclones set to get the ball to start the 2nd half as well. High snap, Millerin pulls it down. He'll keep it himself, but isn't going to go far. Kind of threw the timing off of that option on that high snap. Jack Harvey gets in there to shut it down. Millerin will get 2 yards on forward progress to the 43-yard line, but they do get that stop, Ryan, on the 4th down, and it indeed brings the punt team onto the field for Bishop Ward.
Yeah, we'll see if Baldwin even sends somebody back to receive it. Sometimes they just like to keep the defense out there, prepare for a fake maybe.
Yeah, a little punt safe here. Juan Delgado is the punter. A senior, very good special teams player. He's their kicker and their punter both.
Looks like Buck and Capel are going to go back. We're going to get a timeout, I think, from Bishop Ward here.
So with a minute 25 left in the half, the Cyclones use their first timeout. Chance to tell you about one of the other great sponsors here on Baldwin Sports Live, the Bullpen, your locally owned sports bar in downtown Baldwin City. Open for lunch through 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday is the Bullpen. And then on Sundays, hours change, but they're still there for you. Open 10 to 8 on Sundays at the Bullpen in downtown Baldwin City. A perfect place to go before, during, or after the game. Sports on every TV, live entertainment on many Friday and Saturday nights. Great specials. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with all the happenings at Bullpen Baldwin City on Facebook. A minute 25 left in the half. 4th down and 4. Bishop Ward has the punt team out there. But Baldwin needs to be alert for a potential fake. It's snapped back to Delgado, and he nearly had it blocked by Darnell. It's a high punt, but not very deep. Does take a Bishop Ward bounce and will end up rolling out of bounds around the 35-yard line with a minute 14 left to play in the half.
I think it kind of caught Darnell off guard there. He had a free rush to the punter, and he didn't look like he was sprinting right out of the gate, and then he kind of turned it on, saying, hey, you know what, I got a chance to block this thing. He just able to get it off. Wasn't that great of a punt, but it'll do for the Cyclones. Big drive coming up here. You want to tie this thing up for half because, like you said, Bishop Ward is going to get the ball back, start the second half.
So Baldwin has had 3 possessions in this game. All 3 have crossed midfield. One of them all the way down to the 4-yard line, but they've turned it over twice with interceptions and turned it over on downs as well. Yet here they are with a minute 14, 3 timeouts left in the half, and a chance to go down and get the tying score. Option to the right side. Pitch to Buck. Cody will go out of bounds with about a 4-yard gain at the 39-yard line. Just 3 seconds comes off of the clock, and it looks like they actually marked him a couple of yards shy where I had him. It'll be around the 33-yard line here. Or check that, the 37-yard line. A minute 10 to go. Again, all 3 timeouts. But Baldwin just 2 of 7 passing so far in this game. And as well as the rushing attack has been, you get the feeling like it may take something through the air if they're going to get this ball down there and a chance to score in this final 70 seconds. Harvey wants to throw here. Under pressure, able to hold on to the ball, and it's incomplete off the hands of Gunnar Reichert again, who is hooked up right at the sticks. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, another nice play by Harvey there. He felt pressure early, gave a little sidestep pump fake. He was able to find an open man. But these receivers got to make a play, got to bring the ball in and help your quarterback out.
Now a minute 5 left in the half. 3rd down and 7, Baldwin. And Riker Grossner on the sideline right now, their leading receiver this year, as Buck takes it to the 40 for 3 more. And now Bishop Ward defensively will use their second timeout. So not a great time to be without your top wide receiver, Riker Grossner, here trying to mount this late drive, but he is without a helmet standing over on the sideline right now. 4th down coming up. And the Bulldogs will, I would venture to guess, be punting here on a 4th down and 6 with 58 seconds to go, but we'll see what decision is made coming out of this timeout taken by Bishop Ward. Coming up in just a few minutes, the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Run down all the numbers from this first half. Check those numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services. Check in on some scores as well. Get you all set for what should be an exciting second half based on what we've seen so far in this first half.
And there you see Grosser on the sideline. Like you said, helmet off. Doesn't really look like he's coming back into this game. So it's a big miss. One of your top receivers. Not only that, but he's big part of your defense as well. So
yeah, well, let's hope that Grossner is going to be okay. And Baldwin has the offense look out there, but we've also seen the quick punt from Harvey out of this same looking formation. So we'll see. Will Baldwin roll the dice and go for it on a 4th down and 6 here from their own 40?
couldn't imagine this would be anything but a pooch punt, but I've been wrong many times before.
And now a false start. And if the call wasn't to pooch punt it, which I'm with you, I think that probably was what we were going to see anyway, I think it would certainly be the call now.
That's 3 or 4, just false start penalties now. Those are ones that you can avoid.
Yeah, 3 false starts, a holding and a block at the back. Already they have committed more penalties in this first half than they have been averaging per game on the year. So 4th down and 11 now for Baldwin. And Harvey is punting. Angles it to the sideline. They had no returner back, so Baldwin will down it at around the 32. Tristan Capel down there to down the punt with 56 seconds left in the half. And now attention turns to Bishop Ward, who only has the 1 timeout, but we have already seen they can make some explosive plays. B.J. Johnson has a 70-yard run, and they also have a 85-yard completion on a short screen pass to B.J. Johnson in this game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Expect some more screen passes. They've been liking to run those so far in the first half. Got to keep your eyes where they need to be.
The first Bulldog punt in the last 35 offensive drives right there.
Wow, that's pretty good.
They had been on a roll offensively, and tonight really they moved the ball well, but they have just been stopped with turnovers. And this pass is complete to Dustin Rector, and very quickly Bishop Ward is across midfield to the 44-yard line of Baldwin. They pick up 24, and with the clock stopped momentarily while the chains move, it gives Bishop Ward a chance to get up to the line of scrimmage, and they get it snapped right away. Miller into throw, and it is caught by Jones at the 35-yard line. Clock running this time, though. 35 seconds and counting. Bishop Ward quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Clock down to 25 seconds, and they will spike it with 23 seconds.
I say they still got the 1 timeout, so you can stop at 1 time if you're the Cyclones. But if you're Baldwin, they're dropping 4 guys back here to around the 15-yard line, expecting them to just take some shots at the end zone.
Brown, a big target, is the inside receiver to the right. And they're throwing that direction, looking for Rector instead. It is incomplete. And after that spike as well, that was a 3rd down play, so now it's 4th down. So 4th down and 2 with 21 seconds to go. Not quite in Delgado's range as a field goal kicker. His career long is 47, but you're outside of that right now. And they're going to go for it, though.
Try it, though.
So they have brought Delgado out there. This is going to be a 53-yard attempt. His career long is 47.
Cody Buck's back. Can you return one of these in high
As
school?
long as it doesn't get into the end zone. As soon as it crosses the goal line, though, it is dead.
He's standing right around that goal line, so if this comes up short of that, Cody Buck might have a chance to get a return. But
And the other thing that is different from what you see on Saturdays and Sundays is as long as this ball gets to the end zone, it'll come to the 20-yard line, not where it's spotted right now where they're kicking from. So that makes a difference as well in terms of the decision. It makes it a little easier decision to go ahead and try this long field goal. Good snap, good hold, and Delgado gives it a boot, but it is wide left and short, and that will bring it back to the 20. So again, if you're watching a game tomorrow on Saturday, you're going to see that ball come all the way back out to the 43 where they spotted it. Not the case in high school ball, though. It will come to the 20 since it made it to the end zone.
What a big stop defensively for Baldwin. I mean, that was huge going into the half. Like we mentioned before, Bishop Ward's going to get this ball to start the second half. You're already trailing by a touchdown. Could have started an avalanche there pretty quick, but nice job by the defense, get a stop, and I would expect us to probably just run the ball, go to the locker room, and try to regroup a little bit here.
Yeah, I think, you don't feel good about trailing, but with all the things that could have gone quickly awry, 2 turnovers, a turnover on downs and all that, to be able to
kind of weathered the storm.
Yeah, to be able to go into the half here and say, hey, we're 1 play away from matching this game right back up. Here's Buck off of the right side, and Cody goes out of bounds with 11 seconds left as he picks up about 6.
Bring out the hook and ladder, maybe? I don't know. It's time and place. Read the room.
Yeah. I just don't know if you try to get too cute here and you have something blow up in your face.
I basically saw the hook and ladder work one time in that Boise State, Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl, and then ever since then I thought it was the best play ever. Rarely works.
Second down and 4. Keep it on the ground with Morgan. He's stood up by Galloway with 5 seconds left. And Baldwin takes a timeout.
Did they?
Well, the official blew his whistle. Now they run. Okay, well, the official stopped the clock, so I just assumed, but that will end the half. So 7-0 at the half. Bishop Ward on an 84-yard touchdown on a screen pass, the only score of that first half. And it is Bishop Ward 7, Baldwin nothing. Coming up next, the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Halftime here in KCK tonight from Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium, home of the Bishop Ward Cyclones. We thought we'd have a tight competitive ball game here tonight, and it has been just that. 7-0 our score here at the break as we welcome you into the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show, brought to you by your Baldwin City Farm Bureau agent Kelly Neufeld, there to help you protect what matters most. That's Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting and see how Kelly and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future. 9 possessions in that first half, just 1 score, and it was one of the shortest possessions, an 84-yard touchdown pass that capped off what was a 96-yard drive, although I use the word drive loosely there because, again, it only took them 5 plays. They started on their own 4, Bishop Ward, on their second possession of the game and hit an 84-yard screen pass to B.J. Johnson, who crossed the field and took it down the near sideline to the house for the game's only points so far. The Delgado extra point made it 7-0, and that's where we stand as the Bulldogs, their offensive possessions in that first half, interception, turnover on downs at the 4-yard line, interception, a punt, and then the end of the half. So they moved the ball, Baldwin did in that first half, and really when you look at the overall numbers, and we'll do that coming up here in a moment here on the halftime show, but when you look at the numbers, they're pretty even across the board, minus a couple of things. Baldwin turned it over a couple of times, and Baldwin didn't break the big play like Bishop Ward did, and that's the difference right now is where that one big play that Bishop Ward was able to come up with.
Yeah, they had that big screen pass and that 70-yard run by B.J. Johnson. You take those 2 plays away, and really Baldwin defensively has been great, but obviously you can't take those 2 plays away. They find themselves trailing on the scoreboard, but I mean, if you take that away, you take the scoreboard away. The way Baldwin's been moving the ball offensively, you think they're pretty much dominating this game. They've been just kind of running the ball down their throat 3-4 yards at a time. And through the air, they haven't found as much success. Jack threw that early interception. He had 2 interceptions, and the receivers not really making a lot of plays helping him out. So with Grossner being out, it looked like he was kind of limping over at halftime, shaking his head no. So I don't think he's going to be coming back with him out. Some of these guys are going to have to start making some plays for Jack Harvey here in the second half.
Well, and it was the pressure as well by the Bishop Ward defensive front. They both, on both interceptions, they had pressure right in Jack's face, forced him to throw it early. Like you said, maybe not on the same page with the receiver, thinking, hey, you got to break the route off, or you got to adjust it or something because I'm under that pressure. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens and you just throw it and it ends up incomplete. Unfortunately for Jack, both times he got intercepted. Now, the defense made stops after both of those interceptions, so they didn't result in points off of turnovers, but it still ended drives. And right now, in a game where opportunities are at a premium, we thought that coming in that you're not going to have probably a chance to score 5, 6, 7 touchdowns in this game, as we've seen the last several weeks. So you need every chance you can get, and the Bulldogs have now let a couple of them go by with the interceptions and then turning it over on downs down at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, and quite honestly, it being pretty even like we're talking about, offensively moving the ball and on the scoreboard even. It's been kind of tit for tat negative-wise too. Both teams have been shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, committing penalties. Baldwin's turned it over twice with the interceptions, and so I think both teams coming out in the second half are going to be looking to clean up some of the penalties, especially. Got 3 false start penalties from Baldwin, a couple of offsides from Bishop Ward's, just things that you can avoid. So coming out in the second half, I think that's going to be something a key to watch.
7-0 at the half here. Bishop Ward with the 1-score lead on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. You're watching the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. We'll check all the numbers for you, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services when we come back here on the halftime show.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Check the numbers here. We are at the half, 7-0. Bishop Ward on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Halftime show brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services. But let's check the numbers now. Brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City, where they want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about tax season. Call for helpful tips on how to best prepare and learn about upcoming changes. Timely, accurate, and reliable services, all at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more. 219 yards of offense for Bishop Ward, 84 rushing, 135 through the air. For Baldwin, 167 yards of offense with 142 coming on the ground, just 25 yards through the air. The Bulldogs had about a 6-minute advantage time of possession of the first half, but 2 costly turnovers ending drives. And both teams, as far as big plays, they both hit some. Bishop Ward's just went for touchdowns as they each had 2 plays of 20-plus yards in that first half. Penalties, pretty even. Baldwin 5, 4 for Bishop Ward. And in the end, it's pretty even on the board as well. 7-0, Bishop Ward with the lead. Sophomore quarterback for the Cyclones, Aiden Miller, 4 out of 8 through the air for 135 yards at a touchdown. 84 of that came on the screen pass touchdown to B.J. Johnson, who also ran for 94 yards on 6 carries, with 70 of that coming on 1 carry. 2 grabs for Denaro Jones for 27 yards, 1 for Dustin Rector for 24 yards. For Baldwin, Jack Harvey just 2 of 8 passing, 25 yards, 2 picks. So a tough passing first half of the Bulldogs. One of those completions went to Grossner for 13, the other to Darnell for 12. Leading rusher is Jack Harvey for the Bulldogs right now, 8 carries, 76 yards. Cody Buck, 11 carries for 58 yards. And Vance Morgan carried 3 times for 8 yards. So those are the first half numbers brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. 7-0 our halftime score. It's the Bishop Ward Cyclones on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs here at the half. And a big game here in District 3. We'll set the table again for what's at stake here in this one. Check some scores as well. Coming up next here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Halftime here in KCK tonight. The Bishop Ward Cyclones with a 7-0 lead on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. There's the District 3 standings coming in to tonight. Baldwin a win and they're in. If they win tonight, they are in the postseason. They will clinch that playoff berth for Bishop Ward. If they win tonight, they're not guaranteed in, but they would control their own destiny with a win next week against Osawatomie. Baldwin, a loss tonight would put them in a position where they would likely have to win next week against Wellsville, unless Wellsville gets upset tonight by Santa Fe Trail, but I do not think that's going to happen because what is it, Ryan? Last check,
41-0 going to the half. Wellsville's putting it on them.
Yes, so that becomes, again, a big game here tonight. Baldwin could take all the pressure off next week by winning here tonight, but it is far from a sure thing right now. It's a 7-0 ball game here at the half, but both these teams with aspirations to make the postseason. Wellsville, if they win tonight, and again, if they're up 41-0 at the half, they will be in. They're going to clinch their spot in the postseason with that win tonight. So this is a big one, and Bishop Ward with a 7-0 lead on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs here at the half. We will have the second half kickoff coming up for you in just a moment. You've been watching the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. If you're looking for personal service from a local agent, then Kelly Neufeld is your guy. Give him a call at 785-594-1055. Kelly and his team are proud supporters of the Baldwin Bulldogs, and they'd love to support you in your financial future as well. Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. Second half is next here on Baldwin Sports Live. Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back at Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium in Kansas City, Kansas tonight. I'm Bryce Kessler. He's Ryan Hilmer, and we have a second half of football coming up here as the Baldwin Bulldogs trail the Bishop Ward Cyclones 7-0 as we get set to start this second half. Ethan Williams will kick it off for the Bulldogs. And for Bishop Ward, they send it B.J. Johnson and Corey Stewart back deep to return this kickoff as we get set to start this second half. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. Local Baldwin City brokers Shad and Penny Sheldon are ready to help you find your next dream property like the Appanoose Creek Retreat. A perfect recreational slice of heaven in Franklin County. Perfect spot for the avid outdoorsman with nearly 115 pristine acres and a fully furnished solar-powered cabin on the property. See that stunning property and more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Here's the kick by Williams. Second half is underway. It's fielded at the 35-yard line by Denaro Jones, and he is back near the 45 on the return. So here we go to start this second half as we take a look at our Codiano State Farm Insurance game plan for it tonight. We talked about the fact that, punts are okay in this game, play the field position, but the Bulldogs did have to punt once, but they did turn it over twice. And keeping the things in front of you defensively, capitalizing on opportunities, a couple of things that both at times didn't happen in that first half, and perhaps the difference in the game right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to try to make some more opportunities here in this second half. You played well enough to keep it a close game, but now somebody's got to go out and start making some plays here.
So Bishop Ward with good field position to start this second half as they will begin this drive on their own 45-yard line. And they hand it off to B.J. Johnson on first down, and Jake Van Horn meets him in the backfield, a 2-yard loss. And really, Ryan, they have done a pretty good job on Johnson in this game. He's run for 92 yards, but 70 of that came on one run. So other than that, they have kept him in check for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. That's, like I said during the halftime, you take away those two long plays, Baldwin defensively hasn't allowed that much yardage at all. So pretty stout. You just got to keep everyone in front of you like we talked about.
Makes it second down and 11 here on the opening drive at the second half for Bishop Ward. Millerin to throw. Looked like they wanted to try and set up a screen. Now Millerin on the run will fire it over the head of his sideline. There is a penalty flag, and he might have ineligible men downfield, as it looked like they were trying to set up a screen. And when it gets busted up and you take that long to throw, it's typically, that's what they're going to call as an illegal man downfield.
They're going to say anytime you get some 50s and 60s numbers jogging back to the line of scrimmage from downfield with their head down, it's usually going to be illegal man downfield.
Yeah, and again, that's not the fault of the lineman in that case, as they are expecting that ball to be out quick on a screen, and they're doing their job just getting downfield. And if the quarterback doesn't get rid of the football, unfortunately for the lineman, there's really not much they can do.
Once again, though, Baldwin did a nice job defending that screen. They've been sniffing those out pretty frequently, except for that one that went for the long touchdown.
So it's second down and 16 now. And they will fire over the middle, incomplete. Rector could not haul that one in.
And that was a break for Baldwin, because if Rector brought that in, he had a lot of green grass out in front of him. He'd beaten Darnell on the route, just a little slant route, and he's going to have a lot of running room.
Third down and 16. We think back to the opening drive of this game for Bishop Ward. They converted both a 3rd and 10 and a 3rd and 29. It was a 3rd and 29 that B.J. Johnson ripped off a 70-yard run. So Baldwin, a great chance here to get the ball back on a quick 3-and-out stop to start this second half, but can't take it for granted on a 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 16 from their own 39. Miller in to throw. On the out route, looking for Rector again, but does not hook up with him, and it will be 4th and 16, and here comes the punt team for Bishop Ward. So big stop to start the second half of this Baldwin defense.
Yeah, once again, it was about a 5-man pressure that time, and just about every guy got through and got some pressure on Miller and forced the early throw, just incomplete.
Delgado, last time and the only time he's punted, hit it high but not very deep. Darnell came off the corner with some pressure last time as well, and see if Baldwin comes after it again. Low snap, bounces back to Delgado, but he fields it like a shortstop, and it's fair caught by Cody Buck around the 33-yard line. So good job by Delgado. Got a nice hop. You never know what kind of hop you're going to get with that oblong football, but he takes care of it, boots it away, and with 11:03 left in the third quarter, it's A 57-second opening drive to start the second half for Bishop Ward, and the Bulldog offense will be on the field with a chance to go and get that answering touchdown here.
Yeah, Baldwin's done a great job in terms of time of possession, controlling the clock. See if they can't mount together a nice long touchdown drive here, tie this thing up.
Had a 6-minute edge in time of possession in that first half, but unable to put any points on the board with it. Here's Buck on first down. Cody Buck working off the right side out to the 40. It's another 7 yards there for Cody, and it seems like every time he touches it, it's good for about 6 or 7 at a minimum. On the year, Buck is averaging over 10 yards per carry, 36 carries for 370 yards and a pair of touchdowns coming in, and he picks up 7 to make it 2nd and 3.
Yeah, both Buck and Harvey do such a great job at trying to get the corner. They will just sprint straight out, try to get that corner, and then cut it up right away, get some positive yardage. Vance Morgan's kind of in there now. He's more of that just take it and run straight kind of guy, but he's pretty quick when he does.
2nd down and 3 from their own 40. Morgan flips side of the formation. He gets it coming left. Yarborough wraps him up in the backfield. And a tackle for loss for Cam Yarborough, who's made a couple of those plays at the backfield tonight. They'll mark this one back at the 37-yard line. 3-yard loss will bring up 3rd and 6.
This is a big 3rd down here, still in kind of punt territory if you don't get this, so see what they come up with. If I had to guess, they're going to roll Jack out, give him option to run or pass.
Harvey completing just 2 out of 8 passes in the first half. And he's throwing it down the seam into triple coverage, and what a grab by Sam Darnell. Extends the hands to haul it in at the 38-yard line. 25-yard completion on 3rd and 6, and a tremendous catch by the senior tight end Sam Darnell.
I mean, what a catch, diving, falling down. Jack put it where only his guy could get it, and Sam made a great play coming down with that ball. See if they can't run that momentum, keep it going.
Was surrounded by black jerseys from the Bishop Ward defense, but Darnell with a big conversion to move the chains into Bishop Ward territory again. Harvey nowhere to go this time after the fake to Buck. He had 2 defenders all over him. Corey Stewart makes the tackle. And Harvey is limited to no gain on that play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, you've been playing a pretty good game, keeping it close, but I said somebody's got to start making some plays, and that was one of those right there from Darnell. Big catch on a 3rd down.
2nd grab of the game for Darnell, who has 2 catches for 37 yards in this one. Coming off a season-low 1 reception. The only game that he hasn't had at least 3 catches was last week against Osawatomie. He's had at least 1 grab, though, every game this year. 2nd leading receiver on the team. Only to Riker Grossner, who is not out there, by the way, to start the second half offense for the Bulldogs. Here goes Harvey, gets loose. Harvey with a stiff arm at the 30 and ripped down by Rector at the 21-yard line. 17-yard run by Jack Harvey, doing what Jack does best, and that's make guys miss.
Yeah, exactly. Once he breaks that first tackle, it's off to the races, and then get guys start chopping at his legs because nobody wants to take him on up top.
Takes it to the 21 of Bishop Ward. A great answering drive here after the defense put up a 3-and-out stop to start this second half. The Bulldog offense now on the move, which is something they have done all game long, but 2 turnovers and a turnover on downs inside the 5-yard line of Bishop Ward have kept a goose egg up there in the scoring column for the Bulldogs. Trying to break through here from the 21, 1st and 10.
Oh, no.
That ball is over the head of Darnell, who got tripped up coming out of his break, and fortunately, it falls incomplete as Jalen Pickens was diving in. He was the defender guarding Reichert on the outside, but with Darnell getting knocked down or tripped up, got his legs tangled up or something, Darnell talking with the referee right now, trying to plead his case for a penalty perhaps, but fortunately just an incomplete pass.
Yeah, fortunately, that was a disaster written all over it for the Bulldogs. I don't know, it might have been some incidental contact, but he definitely got tripped up.
So 2nd and 10 now, the 21-yard line. A couple of big plays on this drive. A 25-yard completion on a 3rd down to Darnell. The 17-yard run by Harvey. Have him down here in business. And now Harvey in trouble, but Braden can't make the tackle in the backfield. Harvey able to lower his shoulder and take it down near the 16-yard line. Oh, no, but now Harvey is shaken up at the end of that play, and he comes hobbling back to the huddle.
There's not a lot of sideline territory in this field here. Once you get to that track, there's, maybe 3 or 4 yards is all. And then when you land on that track over there, that does not feel good. Jack's a tough guy, though.
5-yard run to the 16-yard line, 3rd down and 5. One big 3rd down conversion on this drive already. The Bulldogs have another one in them. Fake to Buck, throw to the sideline, and batted away by B.J. Johnson. He was looking once again for Darnell, but Johnson was underneath of Darnell, able to break that play up now and force a big 4th down here. 4th and 5 at the 16-yard line.
This is another one of those times right now somebody has to step up, make a play. Probably going to give Harvey every opportunity in the world to either run it or throw it to somebody, and then you know they're going to be shadowing Darnell, so somebody's got to make a play.
Yeah, without Grosner in the lineup right now because of some kind of injury, it would seem, they are certainly kind of a one-man attack of the passing game. Harvey wants to throw, and underneath it's Gunnar Reichard, who hauls it in, then gets lit up near the goal line, but Reichard holds on, hauls it in, and takes it to the 2. 14-yard completion to Gunnar Reichard, who's had a couple of drops in this game, but on a big 4th down, comes up with a huge play there for the sophomore receiver.
Yeah, it was a great play call. It was kind of a rub slant is what we would call it in high school. You get that inside receiver just running right at the cornerback, kind of set a pick. The picks aren't legal, but you kind of just get in the way. And Reichard able to come on a slant. Nice play, but Jack believing in his guy. Had a couple drops like you mentioned, but makes a play there.
Sets up the Bulldogs with 1st down and goal at the 2-yard line. Buck in the backfield. He gets the handoff. Cody Buck is in. Touchdown, Baldwin. And they are an extra point away from tying the game up with 6:50 to play in the 3rd quarter. An injured player for Bishop Ward, so the officials will call the training staff out for the Cyclones. But Cody Buck caps off an impressive drive right there to start this second half for Baldwin, Ryan. They had to do a little bit of everything right there. Come up with a big 3rd down conversion, come up with a huge 4th down conversion, and in the end, the Bulldogs finally break through and get in the end zone.
Yeah, that was a gut check drive if there ever has been for Baldwin. That's one of the differences, I think, from last year to this year. We've only been doing this Baldwin Sports Live thing for 2 years now, and that's just when you get some adversity, these guys are able to step up and make a big play. That 4th down, both of them plays, that 3rd and 4th down, those were huge, huge plays. And then Reichard getting it down to the goal line and Buck finishing it off.
A 10-play drive right there for the Bulldogs that took a little more than 4 minutes off the clock, and it comes on the heels of the defense forcing a 3-and-out. And the Bulldogs are now an extra point away from potentially tying this ball game up, or perhaps they'll go over the 2 to try to take the lead. While the injured player is attended to, we'll take a timeout. You're watching Bulldog Football presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back to Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium here in Kansas City. Roderick Strong, the young man who was injured on that touchdown play for Bishop Ward, so he is being helped off the field now. Hope that Roderick will be okay. But Cody Buck with a 2-yard touchdown run for the Baldwin Bulldogs. And now they are an Ethan Williams extra point away from tying this game up. Williams was the kicker last week. Brendan O'Connor had done an excellent job as the Bulldog place kicker this year, was 11 of 14 on his extra points. Ethan Williams came in last week to replace him as O'Connor has been out now for the last 2 games. And Williams went 4 of 5 on extra points last week. So a big one here as Williams will try and tie the game up. And he hits it right into the back of the offensive line. You can't return failed tries in high school football. So the extra point is missed, and that will keep this a Bishop Ward lead, but that lead is now just 1, as it is a 7-6 ball game here in Iowa, 6:50 to play in the third.
Yeah, what a drive that was from Baldwin, though. That third down conversion, fourth down conversion right when they needed it. I said somebody's going to have to start making some plays. It was Darnell, it was Reichard, it's a couple different guys, and then Cody Buck finishing it off. But Baldwin right now, they should have all the confidence in the world that they got back into this game. They're still moving the ball offensively. Would have liked to get that extra point and tie this game up, but unfortunately didn't get it. So now we'll see the rest of the game here. The defense has been coming up pretty strong, so can't keep it going.
Baldwin Sports Live brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing, a family-owned company in Baldwin City that services many different industries, from food processing to heavy and light industrial, oil and gas, and many more. With state-of-the-art machine tools and a great work environment that offers excellent pay and competitive benefits, it's the perfect place to start your next career. Find out more by emailing jobs@riceprecision.com. Ethan Williams will kick things off here for the Bulldogs, who trail 7-6 with 6:50 left to play in the third quarter. Don't forget, fans, you can follow all the Bulldog broadcasts and more across the area at varsitysportslive.com, your hub for all things Baldwin Bulldog broadcasts. Find the schedules and the updates and everything more at varsitysportslive.com. Make sure to follow on Facebook, Varsity Sports Live, and Baldwin Sports Live on Facebook as well. As Williams kicks this one off, and it is bobbled, dropped down to the turf at the 20-yard line, now picked up by Stewart, and able to make a pretty good return out of that. He ends up being stopped at the 28-yard line. So with 6:40 left to play, from their own 28, Bishop Ward will take the field with their lead down to 1, and the offense the last time they were out there forced to go 3 and out and punt it away.
Don't really want to do anything differently than what you have been doing on defense here. They're getting good pressure on the quarterback, Miller, and whenever he drops back to pass, making him rush the throw. And on the ground, other than that big 70-yard run, they've really stopped up B.J. Johnson.
Taking a long time getting the right personnel group and the play, so they get to the line of scrimmage with 10 on the play clock. Millerin trying to bark out the signals, and everybody moved except for the ball. The center didn't snap it, so this will be a false start against Bishop Ward, and this is what happened to them last drive as well, Ryan. They had, of course, the loss of 1 on first down, but then the penalty pushed them back 5, and they're moving themselves backwards right away to start this one again.
Yeah, it was one of our keys to the game, capitalize on opportunities. This is one of them opportunities that they're handing you right here. Start off 1st and 15 behind the chains. Make a play.
So now the ball marked at the 23-yard line for this first down and 15 with 6:39 left to play in the third quarter. A 7-6 Bishop Ward lead. Handoff to B.J. Johnson. Just disappears behind the line. The ball comes out. It's recovered by Bishop Ward at the 29-yard line. Dustin Rector able to fall on top of that B.J. Johnson fumble. near costly mistake there, as the Cyclones have not turned it over in this game. Baldwin has turned it over twice. But a 6-yard run to the 29-yard line brings up a 2nd down and 9.
Got great awareness. Give Rector a lot of credit there, kind of sticking around the play, being around the ball, and jumping right on that thing. That would have been a huge momentum shift for Baldwin.
Under 6 to play, 3rd quarter from the 29-yard line. Miller with the speed option left. Pitch to Johnson. And B.J. Johnson explodes into the secondary. Down the sideline he goes. Morgan trying to chase him down and will get him at the 10-yard line. Good effort by Guy Morgan to make that play. A touchdown-saving tackle, but a 61-yard run by B.J. Johnson sets up Bishop Ward 1st and goal to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, keep that play by who made the tackle there?
Guy Morgan.
Guy Morgan. That was a huge play by that. Keep that in your mind, because that could have saved a touchdown. And if they can keep them out, came up with a big goal line stand before in the 1st quarter. Turned it over on downs, did the Cyclones. So see if Baldwin can't do that again here.
They mark it at the 11, actually, so it's still another 1st down to be gained at the 1. 1st and 10 from the 11. Miller in, handoff Johnson again, trying to bounce it. A stiff arm makes another man miss, but can't get away from Wesley Martin. So 2 missed tackles, but eventually Johnson is brought down for no gain, and now he is shaken up. Man, you hate to see another man go down for Bishop Ward, who already lost one of their running backs, Roderick Strong, a moment ago, and now B.J. Johnson, who's had just an explosive night for Bishop Ward this evening. 159 rushing yards, 84 receiving yards, and that's all on just 10 touches. But he is shaken up on the end of that run there. So they will take a look at B.J. Johnson now with 5:13 left to play in this 3rd quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Well, good news for Bishop Ward. B.J. Johnson hopped up and kind of trotted off the field under his own power, so hopefully not a long-term injury there for him. He's replaced for the moment by Javion Braden. And Javion Braden is the big back behind Miller in 6'3", 230 pounds. He got a couple of early carries, but has not been heard from since that first possession of the game on the offensive side anyway. He's the back now, though. Motion man is Jashawn Holiday. They give it to Braden. And he is all the way down near the goal line, extending the football, and a signal touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run from Javion Braden. And Bishop Ward is back up by 7 with an extra point pending. Delgado is the kicker. He is perfect tonight, 1 of 1, 16 out of 21 for the year. Out of the hold of Dustin Rector. Kick is good, and Bishop Ward takes an 8-point lead, 14-6, with 5:02 to play in the 3rd here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
(14-6) Bishop Ward, 5:02 left to play in the third quarter. Along with Ryan Helmer, I'm Bryce Kessler here at Dorney Field, Stump Warner Stadium in Kansas City tonight. The Bishop Ward Cyclones an 8-point lead now. Cody Buck on the return. Not much there for him. They usher him out of bounds around the 23 or 4 yard line. So that's where the Baldwin offense will set up once again. Touchdown drive last time the Bulldogs had it, and a very good drive as well. 10-play touchdown drive for the Bulldogs. 10 plays, 67 yards, 4:13 off the clock last time they possessed it. And now they find themselves down by 8 to start this possession here with 4:55 left to play in the third from their own 23.
That's kind of been polar opposites offensively between these two teams. Baldwin's kind of controlling the clock, long possessions, moving the ball down the field, and Bishop Ward just getting some lightning strikes, 60, 70-yard plays.
Taking a shot for Darnell, and once again, in between 3 Cyclone defenders, Darnell hauls it in, a 22-yard completion out to the 45-yard line.
That's one of those, you just throw it up to your guy. It's like a man among boys there, 3 of them around him. You just throw it up, Darnell making another play.
Have not had Grossner since late first half, and that has put some extra pressure on Darnell and has forced some other guys like Gunnar Reichert to step up and make some big plays in this passing attack. As the Bulldogs only completed 2 passes in the first half, they've already completed 3 now in this second half for 3 times as many yards as they had in the whole first half of this game. Down by 8, though, as Buck gets it up the middle and runs into a wall. The first man that hit him was Javion Braden, and then the rest of the convoy got there to take Buck down for a 1-yard loss. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line. If the Bulldogs win tonight, they clinch a playoff berth. If Bishop Ward wins, all they have to do is win next week against Osawatomie, or there's some other avenues to get there as well if by some reason they would get upset by Osawatomie next week. But for all intents and purposes, this is a win-you're-in game for both teams, but neither is completely, Bishop Ward would be eliminated with a loss. This pass is completed out to Darnell again. He takes to the 48. They pick up 4 and will turn it into a 3rd down and 7.
You just feel like Baldwin been matriculating the ball down the field 3-5 yards at a time, but you just feel like they're going to need a big play from somebody, a big shot play, maybe to Darnell. See if Reichert or Capel can make a play. Guy Morgan's been out there for the injured Grossner receiver, so.
Jackson Rood in the lineup right now as well. He has come in, and he is the receiver to the far side of the field. Cody Buck standing to the right of Harvey on a 3rd down and 7. Harvey to throw. Now the pocket breaks down. He looks to run, then decided to try and throw it. Not often do we see Harvey look to run and then change that decision to throwing it. And he is brought down by Corey Stewart, a 1-yard run to the 49-yard line, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 6.
I think just a little bit of indecision got to Jack there. I think if he would have tucked that ball and just ran it hard, he would have got a 1st down. But he had a couple of guys down there that were open that if he had more time, probably would have been a big play. He had a guy chasing him down, though.
Let's see what they do now on 4th down and a long 6. We'll call it a 6.5 here for the Bulldogs. Is it a pooch punt or go for it? It's a pooch punt, and it got blocked. And then it's fielded at the 40-yard line. Fortunately, the Bulldogs quickly make the tackle. Michael Newman, along with Jonathan Wren, were able to make the tackle on Denaro Jones. Because that ball got tipped and came up so short with Jones fielding it, that had the chance to be a quick breakout going the other way. But the Bulldogs, fortunately, do not allow anything on that return, but a short punt nonetheless. So from the own 41-yard line is where Bishop Ward will start this drive. Bulldog defense forced a 3 and out on the opening drive of the second half for Bishop Ward, but the Cyclones were able to capitalize on their last drive. Only took them 4 plays to go 72 yards. A big 60-yard run in there by this man, B.J. Johnson. And he is loose again, across midfield, slips through the defense, down the sideline, inside the 10, and gone. 59-yard touchdown run for B.J. Johnson. All they need one play this time.
I was going to say he's at a 70-yard run, a 69-yard run, a 60-yard run. So it's just 3 plays if you could go back and contain those 3 plays. But you can't. It's football, and got to try to win the next play.
Now Johnson coming off a huge game last week for Bishop Ward, a game that he had 201 all-purpose yards with 5 touchdowns. And tonight, as the extra point by Delgado is missed wide to the right, and it keeps it a 14-point game at 20-6. But Johnson with a pair of touchdowns in this game tonight to go along with now over 300 all-purpose yards. Big game again for Johnson, and he has put the Cyclones up 20-6 with 2:09 to go in the third here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
So welcome you back here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. The kickoff was fielded by Casey Hamrick down on the ground at the 27-yard line, so that's where Baldwin will start this drive with 2:08 left to play in the third quarter. And Bishop Ward now out in front 20-6. 2-score lead for the Cyclones after they have scored on big touchdowns, or big plays, one directly for a touchdown, the other set up a touchdown, the last 2 possessions for them. Handoff up the middle, Vance Morgan bursts right up the middle, breaks through a tackle, and he's across midfield to the Bishop Ward 39-yard line. Another injured Cyclone way back at the point of attack. So another big run here for the Bulldogs. They get 32 yards on that carry by Vance Morgan. And with 2 minutes to go in the third, this game far from over. As the Bulldogs now down 2 scores, though, would love to come up with an answer here on this possession. Baldwin Sports Live is brought to you in part by The Bullpen, your locally owned sports bar in downtown Baldwin City. Go check out Wildcat Wednesdays. Great specials on Wednesdays down at the Bullpen. Enjoy karaoke Thursdays. Live entertainment on many Friday and Saturday nights. And, of course, Sunday Fun Day. Football every Sunday down at the Bullpen. Well, not everyone. I guess once football season's over, you won't get it. Find some reruns. Check them out on Facebook. Bullpen Baldwin City. They're open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Sundays 10 to 8. At your locally owned sports bar with classic ballpark food, downtown Baldwin City. That's the Bullpen. 2 minutes left to play, third quarter of this ball game. 1 game to go in the regular season. That's next Friday night at home against Wellsville. No matter what happens in these final 14 minutes tonight, it's going to be a big game next Friday night back at Liston Stadium for the Bulldogs. But if the Bulldogs are unable to overcome now a 14-point deficit, it will become a huge game next Friday night. The injured Cyclone is Christian Galloway, as he is helped off of the field. And Cyclones certainly have been bitten by the injury bug a little bit here in this second half. They lost Roderick Strong to an injury earlier in this second half. And then for a moment it looked like they had lost B.J. Johnson, but he was out for a play, and he's been back in and made a quick impact again since coming back in. And now Christian Galloway is helped off of the field. 1st and 10 Baldwin, ball at the 40-yard line of Bishop Ward. After the big run by Vance Morgan, a 32-yard run by Morgan.
Going to need some more of that, though, if you're Baldwin. You just feel like Cyclones are taking control of this game a little bit, up 14 now. Need a bounce-back answer.
Morgan is the back, and he gets the handoff. This is such a good job of breaking tackles. He broke a couple of tackles on his way to that 32-yard run and breaks a couple here just to manage 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Thought we might get a penalty after the play there. A couple guys, Wesley Martin was involved in kind of a little pushing match, but got it resolved, no penalties.
2nd down and 8, Baldwin. 90 seconds to play in this 3rd quarter. Not in rush time by any means yet for Baldwin. Down 2 scores and on the move here. But the way the 4th quarter, kind of the feel of the 4th quarter, a lot of it's going to be dictated by how this possession ends. Harvey hit in the face as he delivered that pass downfield, and it's picked off by Jalen Pickens. A flag comes in on the return, and Pickens is brought down at the 27-yard line by Van Horn.
I think they're going to tack on a face mask on top of that, so 15 more yards.
2nd interception of the game for Jalen Pickens. It's the 3rd interception overall for this Bishop Ward defense. So I mentioned that the way this drive ends is going to kind of dictate the feel of how much pressure you feel in the 4th quarter. They wave off of the flag. Had you gone down and scored, you feel still pretty good going to the 4th quarter. Now that pressure starts to mount as you're down 2 scores with under a minute to go in the 3rd, and you've just turned it over for the 3rd time.
Yeah, and that's just Harvey trying to make a play again. We've talked about need to take some shots down the field. He can't just keep trying to, run 4 or 5 yards at a time. It's going to take up a lot of time trying to come back down by multiple scores. So trying to make a play, threw it up deep, and unfortunately got picked off for the 3rd time.
And again was under immense pressure trying to get rid of it. Reverse handoff to Jashawn Holiday, and after the Bulldogs looked like they had him dead to rights in the backfield, Holiday breaks free down the sideline and will go to the house. A 72-yard house call on a play that looked like it was destined for a loss.
Some more of that quick strike offense from Bishop Ward, just like that. He got around the corner, and there was no catching him. He is a quick lad.
So a back-breaking touchdown run from Jashawn Holiday with 41 seconds to go, and now the last 3 touchdown drives, 3 consecutive touchdown drives have all featured a play of at least 59 yards. A 59-yard touchdown run from B.J. Johnson, a 60-yard run by Johnson to set up a touchdown, and now the 72-yard touchdown run by Holiday. The extra point no good from Delgado, and it's 26-6 with 41 seconds to play in the 3rd. You're watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm Insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Kickoff fielded by Darnell at the 6-yard line on the scoop. And here comes Sam on the return back across the 30. Bulldog offense will set up at the 31-yard line with 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. And Bishop Ward all of a sudden up 26-6. This was a 7-0 ball game at the half. Bishop Ward went 3 and out to start this second half. Baldwin marched it down and scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. It was a 7-6 ball game, and it looked like we were going to be in for a big back-and-forth battle in this second half. But then all of a sudden, the Bulldog defense has let up 3 consecutive big plays on 3 consecutive drives that have led to 3 straight Bishop Ward touchdowns. So a 20-point lead now for the Cyclones as Baldwin faces a pretty much gotta-have-it drive here. And Cody Buck is tripped up by Corey Stewart for no gain on first down.
I mean, the way you have to approach this, though, is you can't score 20 points in one drive. You just got to do it one drive, one play at a time. Try to win this play, make a big play, help your quarterback out. It's going to be a big hill to climb, though, for the Bulldogs.
And they will have to do it in the fourth. 26-6, Bishop Ward on top of Baldwin. We head to the fourth quarter. You're watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Start of the fourth quarter here in KCK tonight, 26-6. Bishop Ward on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. A 7-0 game at the half, 7-6 midway through the third quarter. But Bishop Ward has now exploded to a 20-point lead. And the Baldwin Bulldogs have the ball, 2nd and 10 at their own 31-yard line as we start this final quarter. Needing an answer, needing it quick, and try to make a comeback and punch their ticket to the playoffs. And it is not over if they don't win tonight. They'll have a chance to still secure a playoff bid next week at home against Wellsville, but they could do it tonight if they're able to complete the comeback. Quick flip out to Darnell in the left flat. Darnell breaks a couple of tackles, stays on his feet, and is able to get almost to the sticks. It looks like he'll be 2 yards short. They're going to put it at the 39-yard line. 8-yard completion to Darnell brings up a 3rd down and 2. 5th grab of the night for Darnell. That has tied his season high in receptions. He has set a new season high with 71 receiving yards tonight. The Bulldogs again have been without their leading receiver, Riker Grossner, since late first half. He's not played at all in this second half. So a little bit more asked of Darnell in the passing game. And right now they need 2 on a 3rd down. Fake it to Buck. There goes Harvey. Huge hole up the middle of the field, and Harvey lowers the boom on Denaro Jones at the 44-yard line. 16-yard run. And that moves the chains for the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs going to need more of that, and they're going to need to start doing it quickly. You need 3 touchdown drives here and to hold Bishop Ward off the scoreboard. So you don't necessarily need to be in, hyper speed mode, but like to be going a little quicker.
Yeah, certainly going to need to see the sense of urgency go up a tick here for Baldwin. But again, you got to stay within yourselves a little bit as well. And you can't afford really to not score at this point. Again, having to score 3 times still, you basically are going to have to score every time you have the football. So Got to make sure of it. Here goes Harvey to the air again. Looking on that flag route for Darnell, and a flag comes in on it as well, as Darnell did a good job trying to come back to make a play on that. And Dustin Rector, the defender, never found the football,
right.
And there was some contact, and I think he may get caught for a pass interference.
Yeah, I think it was just that, what you just said right there. He saw the football, Darnell, that he was coming back for it. The defender never turned around, never turned his head, and kept Darnell from getting back to that football, and that's called pass interference.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. It takes it down to the 29-yard line. And they did call pass interference, by the way. They called it so fast, though. I was waiting to actually see them make the call, but it was one of those kind of no doubt about it. So they put it at the 28, actually, after the 15-yard penalty. It is enough for a first down, and the Bulldogs have it at the Bishop Ward 28, first down and 10. Hand off to Buck. And Braden has him in the backfield. Rips him down to the 31-yard line. 3-yard loss. And Javion Braden, who had one of those touchdowns during this 3 straight touchdown spurt. He had the first. And they call it a 2-yard loss. Mark it at the 30-yard line. Second down and 12. As the clock goes down near 10 minutes left to play in this ball game. Bulldogs down 3 scores. And really moving the football has not been the issue tonight for Baldwin. It's been finishing the drives. They have been in Bishop Ward territory almost every possession they've had it tonight. Another deep shot for Darnell into coverage. And Jalen Pickens, who's already intercepted 2 passes tonight, had a chance at a third there, but it falls incomplete and brings up third down and 12. Well, there's no question that Bishop Ward knows where Harvey wants to throw the ball. It seems like every time Darnell's out there for a pass, he has 3 defenders on him. That time, no different.
Yeah, it's at least double coverage there. Double covering him and kind of shadowing to his side as well. Going to have somebody else step up and make some plays here.
Gunnar Reichert came up with a big catch on a 4th down that set up the Cody Buck touchdown. Reichert is wide to the right here on a 3rd down and 12. Speed option left. Harvey trying to tuck it and keep, but Javion Braden blows it up. So 2 big plays on that series of downs by Braden, who made the stop on Buck on the first play of this series and now makes the stop on Harvey on the 3rd play. And it's 4th down and 12 now as Harvey comes up a little bit shaken up after that carry.
Gonna say Jack took a huge shot. Big hit on him. He's used to delivering the blows, not taking them.
And I don't think Javion Braden at 6'3", 230 takes many blows. He is the one delivering the big hits usually, and he did there. So 4th down and 12. I gotta have it 4th down here for the Bulldogs with under 9 to go, down by 20. Harvey stands tall, fires deep, and Pickens has a potential 3rd pick go right through his hands. So he's going to be upset that he didn't catch that. He's actually better off by not catching it, though, as it would have ended up in a touchback most likely had he picked it off and would have cost his team 10 yards. But for the Bulldogs, it's another turnover on downs, and Bishop Ward takes over on their own 30 with a 26-6 lead.
And he also almost gave Darnell a chance at catching that off the tip. He went for the interception there.
Yeah, it did pop the ball back up in the air for a moment. That would have been something.
That's one of those breaks that Baldwin needs now. They're going to not only need to play almost perfect football to get back into this, they're going to need some help.
Yeah, you're going to have to come up with a game-changing type play here on the defensive side of the football now. You're just running out of time to have enough possessions left offensively, even if everything goes well. Millerin will keep it this time, fakes it to B.J. Johnson, and Aiden Millerin, who is not known as a running quarterback on the year. Through 6 games, Millerin has a total of negative 12 rushing yards. And he fakes it to the guy who's been so effective tonight, B.J. Johnson, and Millerin goes for 22 yards to the 48 of Baldwin.
That's one of those you just mix that in every now and then to keep the defense honest, and Millerin able to break out and get a big run out across the 50-yard line.
Just 8 carries this year coming in for Millerin for a total of negative 12 yards. But the sophomore has played well tonight for Bishop Ward. He has made sound decisions in the passing game and this has been what he's done best. Give the ball to B.J. Johnson. And he is off and running again. The Bulldogs can't take him down, but he did step out at the 15-yard line. Johnson thought he had scored another touchdown, but the official on the far sideline marks him out of the 15. A 35-yard run for Johnson, who is now rushed for 253 yards in this game, along with 84 receiving yards, and that all came on one reception, the 84 yards. What a night for B.J. Johnson. Career-high rushing total, career-high receiving total in this game.
He's one of those running backs that he doesn't look that imposing at 5'9", but, man, he is quick. He can get to that edge, that corner, and just foot race, beat you to the end zone.
He'll take a breather as Javion Braden comes in. Millerin has a nose for running the football all of a sudden after he broke off that 22-yard run, and Millerin picks up another dozen yards here, down to the 3. First down and goal, Bishop Ward. Johnson back in the backfield now. He's run for a touchdown and received a touchdown in this game. And they're going to give him a chance for another one here, but not so fast. Dylan Williams blows that one up, no gain. Maybe even lost a yard. That'll bring up a second and goal. Right now the clock, the biggest enemy for the Bulldogs with 7:20 to go and running. Down by 20 and staring at potentially falling behind further. It was an ominous start to the second half for Bishop Ward, who went 3 and out in their first series, then gave up a touchdown to Baldwin. But they have quickly turned that momentum back the other way as B.J. Johnson is once again kept out of the end zone. Jake Van Horn makes the stop after a 1-yard run. And now third down and goal. Ball to the 3-yard line. Johnson still the back here. And a soccer ball comes into the end zone. Couple of young gents playing soccer back there behind the end zone. So here we go, back to play. It's B.J. Johnson, and he is denied again. Wesley Martin made him have to take a couple of hop steps there. Didn't finish the tackle, but set up the potential for Brett Davidson to make the tackle in the backfield. It's a loss of 1, and it brings up a fourth down and goal, and they will bring out Delgado. Now, the key here is even with the field goal from Delgado, it stays a 3-possession game. Now, again, you might not have time with under 6 to go, but at least you keep it a 3-possession game here, which is what you are already facing. Delgado has missed his last couple of extra points. His only field goal attempt of this game he missed as well. Granted, it was from 53 yards, and this kick is no good as well. Wide to the right. So Baldwin gets the stop, but if you're Bishop Ward, Ryan, you still took almost, in fact, a little more. 3 minutes and 9 seconds came off of the clock, and up by 20 at this juncture, that's basically as good as the score.
Yeah, that's one of those that your main objective offensively there for the Cyclones is just to bleed that clock down as much as you can. If you score at the end of it, great. If you don't, then main objective, like I said, just want to bleed that clock down and not give the Bulldogs enough time to, like you said, you're going to need 3 possessions here. It's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, well, now you have to completely take off the training wheels and just say, air it out, fellas, because you got 3 possessions. You got to sneak into 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Baldwin's been so good this year about having nice 4 or 5 minute drives, but that's just not an option at this point. It's Buck on the ground, and Braden corrals him, and they're going to give him forward progress out to the 30, so that is a first down for the Bulldogs on a 10-yard run. It stops the clock momentarily while they reset the chains, but now it is gonna run, and Baldwin just taking too much time for my liking here with this clock running, down 20 with 5:20 to go.
You're going to have to take some shots down the field. I know Jack's got those 3 interceptions already, but like we said, nothing to lose now. You just got to start throwing this thing deep.
Play clock down to 7, just too deep getting into the play clock in this scenario. Harvey chopped down by Johnson. Good tackle made by B.J. Johnson. Went low and took out the ankles of Harvey. He was stopped for a 2-yard loss on the play. 2nd down and 12 coming up.
And Harvey usually takes a beat and gets beat up over the course of the game, but he's going to need an extra ice bath after this one tonight. He's been hit hard multiple times, dragged down, awkward angles, hit the knees. I mean, just guys all over him.
Trying to gut it out and pull off a miracle comeback now with 4.5 to go. 2nd down and 12. Quick throw to Darnell, makes a nice spinning grab, but is only going to come up with 2 yards on the play. Tackle made by Jamon Carpenter.
Now Darnell's kind of reaching at his side, his back too. That's last thing you want is any more injuries here. We've already seen Riker Grossner be knocked out of this game early in the first half. He hasn't returned. So sure like to, whether you win or lose, this looks like it's going to be a loss. Get out of here healthy. Going into that big Wellsville game next week.
And still have a big one coming up against Wellsville next week. Wellsville will come into that game undefeated. And Baldwin still controls their own destiny next week. So they still have an opportunity to go and put one together. And here is Harvey again, and nothing there on that 4th down. So
kind of just feels like waving the white flag on this one a little bit.
So it brings up the 4th down, I should say. 3:13 left to play. Now, the other thing here, you do have to think about the point differential as well, and Baldwin will punt it away with 3 minutes to go. And it goes out of bounds with 2:57, and now, well, clock's still running here. Now they're going to put it back to 2:58, so 2:58 to go. It will be Bishop Ward ball at the 35-yard line. So part of the district standings and the playoff standings and how those are decided comes based on some points as well. As there's those standings for you. Baldwin looks like they're going to drop to 2-1. Bishop Ward will go to 2-1. And when you talk your average point differential, that's where I say Baldwin still, to a certain extent, controls their own destiny, because they'll have a chance against Wellsville next week. They could win that game, and what you essentially would have is a 3-way tie between Wellsville, Baldwin, and Bishop Ward, and everybody would have beaten everybody with, again, this is if Baldwin can pull off the win next week. That would all lead to that. So then points come into play. So if you're Baldwin right now, you're facing a 20-point deficit. You can't lose or gain any more than 21 points. That's where they cap it at. But a stop and a score, even though it seems irrelevant to the results tonight, it may very well be a key to getting you into the playoffs still. So this is not just a throwaway 242 here.
Yeah, obviously a frustrating game, though. You came into this one as kind of feeling like it was going to be your best opportunity to get into those playoffs. We all know about Wellsville. They're a powerhouse team. It's going to be a really tough game next week, and Baldwin probably going to need some help from a team like Osawatomie, who is winless on the year, but that's why you play the games.
Yeah, that's who Bishop Ward will host next Friday night. Guy Morgan makes the tackle here on B.J. Johnson at the 43-yard line. And we'll call it the 42. It's a 6-yard run. But it looks, to me anyway, that this one is now just in tick-tock mode, and they're just letting the clock go. Bishop Ward certainly likes the position they're in, obviously. And Baldwin has appeared to call the pressure off here as well, with the clock running at 1:40 to go. Johnson again has had a huge night. He is bottled up here for no gain. He's run for 273 yards in this game. And now a third down and about 5 coming up here. Play clock down to 7 as they break the huddle.
I'd say we're still perfect, though, on weather-wise. It
Oh, yeah.
turned out to be another great night.
Was a beautiful night as B.J. Johnson breaks a tackle and picks up a first down, and that will all but end it tonight as they mark 36. Another 6 yards there for Johnson. Clock will run, and they will have to snap it one more time, but they can go into victory formation here and take a knee. Coming up, the Farm Bureau is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game during the post-game show. We'll give out that honor next. Wrap it up with all the final stats for you as well. As the Bulldogs are going to fall on the road here at Bishop Ward tonight. Millerin takes a knee, and that will do it. So big win for the Bishop Ward Cyclones, who improved to 5-2. First 5-win season since 2009 for Bishop Ward, and they are perhaps not done as they will host winless Osawatomie next week. A win and they're in next week for Bishop Ward. For Baldwin, they will head home at 3-4. Their 3-game win streak comes to an end to host Wellsville next Friday night, where there's still a possibility with a victory that they could find their way into the postseason, but it certainly is going to take, at the very least, a win next Friday night against Wellsville, and perhaps some point watching as well during that one. But the final here from Stump Warner Stadium tonight, 26-6. Bishop Ward over the Baldwin Bulldogs. Coming up next, it's your Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game right after this here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back here to Stump Warner Stadium, Dorney Field, home of the Bishop Ward Cyclones. And tonight, the Cyclones win this one 26-6, the final score over the Baldwin Bulldogs as they improved to 5-2 and dropped the Bulldogs to 3-4. It's time to name tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. And for the Bulldogs tonight, we go with senior tight end Sam Darnell, who made a couple of fine catches. Remember that defense who early on looked like they were going to keep the Bulldogs in this game, but Darnell, tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game.
Yeah, a lot of guys had some pretty solid games, but I think give it to Darnell. Right when the Bulldogs really needed some big plays, he came up with a couple of big catches and catches that weren't easy at all. We talked about it. He had guys draped all over him all night long. With Grossner going out early in the first half and not returning, it was pretty much the Sam Darnell show for Jack Harvey. That's who he was targeting the most, and so a lot of on the shoulders of Darnell, and he had a pretty good game overall. And I also thought that the defensive line, the offensive line played pretty well tonight. Davidson and Van Horn and Williams and Jonathan Wren. I think I'm forgetting somebody, but
Wesley Martin was on that offensive line.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely. They played a pretty good game as well, and gave Baldwin a pretty good shot tonight. But they took a good shot from Bishop Ward, and congrats to them. They played a pretty well game. But like you said earlier, you got one more game next week coming up against Wellsville. It's going to be a tough one. But if they can put it all together, we've seen Baldwin just really get to humming offensively. So,
Sam Darnell, 6 catches, 73 yards, both season highs tonight. Tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. The Player of the Game award presented by Farm Bureau Financial Services here in the post-game show. From investments to insurance to wealth management and financial planning, Farm Bureau Financial Services is there to help you protect what matters most. Call today and set up a meeting with your local Farm Bureau team at 785-594-1055. It's your future. Let's protect it. We'll take a look at the final numbers brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services next. You're watching Bulldog football. The final score tonight, Bishop Ward 26, Baldwin 6, here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
(26-6) your final score tonight. Bishop Ward defeating the Baldwin Bulldogs. Cyclones now 5-2. Baldwin drops to 3-4. Both teams now 2-1 in Class A District, or Class 3 District 3. And we will take a look now at the final numbers brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. That's what you'll find at New Frontier Tax and Business Services. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more. We talked about capitalizing on opportunities and avoiding those mistakes. You know, don't turn the ball over. Punting is okay in this game. Well, on a night where Baldwin ran 19 more plays and had 12 minutes more time of possession, they lose by 20. But 3 turnovers tonight for the Bulldogs and some missed opportunities down there in the scoring zone as they turned it over on downs after a 90-yard drive in this game. And they basically had it in Bishop Ward territory, it felt like, in every possession tonight, but just could not put points on the board. Held to just 1 touchdown, a 2-yard run by Cody Buck, the lone scorer in this game for Baldwin. For Bishop Ward, they get a big game out of B.J. Johnson, an 84-yard touchdown catch in the first half, the game's lone score in the first half, and then he added a 59-yard touchdown run in the second half. That was sandwiched between an 11-yard touchdown run by Javion Braden, which was set up, by the way, on a 60-yard run by Johnson, and then a 72-yard touchdown run by Jayshon Holiday as Bishop Ward piles up 521 yards of offense in this game. It's the most allowed in a game this year by the Bulldogs and the most for this Bishop Ward offense in a game this season as they run for 386 yards in this game tonight. That's also a season high for this Bishop Ward offense, and they averaged 13.5 yards per carry in this game. Baldwin, 326 yards of offense, 226 rushing yards tonight for the Bulldogs, 100 yards even in the passing game, but 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions thrown in this game, and the Bulldogs could not keep up in the end as Bishop Ward wins this one 26-6, the final. Individual numbers, Aiden Millerin, 4 of 10 through the air, a $135 and a touchdown for the Bishop Ward passing attack, carried 5 times for 17 yards. B.J. Johnson, 19 carries, 279 yards and a touchdown. His 1 reception went for 84 yards and a touchdown as well. Javion Braden added 3 carries for 20 yards and a score. Jayshon Holiday's only carry went for 72 yards and a touchdown. 2 grabs for Denaro Jones for 27, 1 catch for 24 yards for Dustin Rector. For Baldwin, Jack Harvey, a tough night pass to the ball. He was under pressure, took a bunch of hits, threw 3 picks tonight, going 8 of 19 for 100 yards. Didn't have a 100-yard rushing night, 16 carries for 113 yards on the ground. Cody Buck carried 17 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. Vance Morgan, 6 carries for 39 yards tonight. Leading receiver was Sam Darnell with a season-high 6 catches for a season-best 73 yards. one grab for 13 for Riker Groster before he left with an injury, and Gunnar Reichard hauled in one catch for 14 yards tonight on a big fourth down play that set up their only touchdown of the evening. Jalen Pickens defensively a standout as well for Bishop Ward. 2 picks for Pickens in this game. B.J. Johnson, who had the big game offensively, also added an interception on the defensive side tonight for Bishop Ward as well. So that wraps up the numbers on this one. 26-6 the final score as Bishop Ward wins this one over the Baldwin Bulldogs. Coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live, a couple of broadcasts for you next week. As you take a look there at the upcoming schedule. Volleyball on Tuesday and football on Friday. The Bulldog volleyball team will host Spring Hill on Tuesday. Regular season finale, senior night for the Baldwin volleyball team. We'll have it for you here on Baldwin Sports Live next Tuesday, 6:30, scheduled for serve. And then Friday night at Liston Stadium, Baldwin hosts undefeated Wellsville. A huge game coming up next Friday night. It's all on the line for the Baldwin Bulldogs to try and keep their season alive at the postseason next Friday night as they host Wellsville. So you can catch it all here on Baldwin Sports Live, all presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. For my partner, Ryan Hilmer, I'm Bryce Kessler. Thanks for joining us tonight for Bulldog football as Bishop Ward wins this one 26-6, the final over the Baldwin Bulldogs. We say so long from Dorney Field at Stump Warner Stadium in Kansas City. You've been watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors on Baldwin Sports Live.
Watching Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.